What's up, good people? Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either he's back or who dat. He's back or who dat to let me know that you can hear me in the chat while the intro plays.
Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ay.
What's up, good people? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Thank you for everyone letting me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either he's back or who dat. Because I have been missing for a while over here on the public YouTube side. However, we have been hanging out on Patreon weekly, at least. Tonight, I wanted to kind of brush the cobwebs off. I had a plan originally, which was to give a sneak preview of our live stream that I did last night with our Patreon crew, because not only did we do some reacting to Darius Crooks up to his latest shenanigans, and then I kind of just did some story times and updated them on some stuff. But I was just going to show a preview of that, basically a sneak peek, which is still an hour and a half. However, as I edited, it's all ready to go. I'm gonna put it out tomorrow, I think, instead. And then tonight, I'm gonna just give y'all a complete live show. I was gonna introduce it because y'all hadn't seen me live and in color in a minute. And then I was just gonna, sit in the back and play it while I cook dinner because I'm hungry. But we're here. And while I was trying to edit down Darius Crooks' live stream from yesterday with the new drama that he's creating, inserting himself in what's been going on with Jeromie, aka the Kake King. And Darius Crooks says, let me see if I still have those brands. I might not have them over here. Maybe though. Do it. I don't know. I may not have it. I'm reaching. I was trying to see if I had any of the Three Kings stuff. No, I don't think I have it in here. But anyway, Darius Crooks. So Jeremy, the Kake King, from their Three Kings tour, has his own drama going on. He ordered candles or something from some lady. They were defective or melted because they were out in the heat or something. He said that the quality was horrible. He paid over $700 for them, and I think he was planning to resell them. Person wasn't getting back to him, etc. So he blasted them, the lady in public, and it became a back and forth. So Darius Crooks, De-hives, the De-hivers, were hitting him up like, oh, look at the drama Jeremy in, etc., etc. And of course, Darius Crooks is gleeful about it. And it led to Darius Crooks last night getting on his IG lives, reading the comments from the De-hives, and then giving his thoughts. Now, what for me, more than as much as he claims to mind his own business, yet is in everybody else's business, but don't want nobody to talk about his business. We know he talks about Carmen, he talks about Jeremy, he talks about any of the other people, the litany of people that he has fallen out with over the years. He'll talk about all of them, but he doesn't want anyone to bring up his stuff. So what was ironic to me is that they were going in on Jeremy, as in the De-hivers and Darius Crooks, pointing at him, saying like he's an attention seeker, he's messy online, all of these attributes that apply to Darius Crooks. And it went so far as for him to have one of his followers come on, join him live, to then start talking about the giving the play-by-play of the story, but all the things she was saying was that she was pointing at Jeremy about applied to Darius Crooks. It was very ironic, and I'm like, why are they so blind to the fact that Darius Crooks does the same thing? So anyway, we're gonna play that, and I'll give a little reaction to it, and that'll be today's show. Because I'm trying to have shorter lives. We're not gonna be having no 3 to 5, 6, 17-hour live streams. Exactly. I see. Oh, I gotta get used to being able to do the comments again. I'm reading them over here in the live chat, but was forgetting I can click on them too. Yes, Darius is definitely an attention seeker. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the first couple. So he spent 5 minutes reading the comments from his chat, and then he pulled up his De-hiver who went on, and that's to me the irony of it all. And I don't know, I think she was on 20 minutes. He spent about an hour and a half dragging Jeremy. And then the narrative that they've created, it's a whole thing, y'all. We gonna watch. I'm gonna give you the play-by-play. Oh, did I do this right? No, I'm trying to do a screen share. Screen share. Y'all know I'm rusty with this. Is it this one? No, I don't want the entire screen. I just want the window. There we go. Here we go. So this is Darius Crooks live from last night. Let me know how the volume is.
She said he left the candles outside and they melted. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he started with he claimed to not know what was going on. They're in the chat, the De-hags in the chat. They're updating him, telling him all the bits and pieces. And he's reading, trying to get familiar with the story.
I get he's upset, but then he's mad because his followers started following her. That's crazy. Okay. The lady sent him some bullshit for $700. He's doing the same thing as you.
Why those teeth look plastic? Don't his teeth look plastic?
The content creators do. Post it and talk about him. Okay. She also made him pay 2-day air and sent them ground. Oh, okay. He been going off since 8 a.m. when I clocked into work. He just wrapped up around 8-ish. Okay. Who is Jeremy? Sit this one out. August got a lot going on for them, but true. I think he was more upset about the post than about the situation and her not to have responded to him yet. Okay. They were not messed up. Okay. His ass should have used American Express. Well, there you go. Candlemaker said, your husband left him outside. During the live, he admitted she said, send it back and you'll get a refund. He said he ain't sending nothing back. Okay. He was doing the absolute most about them and made a live and several reels every hour or so. He said he had time. He was losing his shits. She was supposed to ship them next day and ship them ground. They weren't melted, literally crumbling out the jar. She shook them.
So as you can see, he's very gleeful in whatever drama that Jeremy, and I don't follow Jeremy, so I can't even tell y'all, just the bits and pieces I learned to tell y'all about this. That's all I know. But you see how happy and gleeful he is. And you know he don't read every comment on his IG lives, usually because he's trying to avoid people pointing out the truth. Okay, so we fast forward a little bit. He's still reading it. Well, we 5-6 minutes in. Actually, and now that I think about it, I didn't record from the absolute beginning.
Done him and the vendors wrong, so they left him lost money. But okay, he was definitely aggressive. He deserves the right to be upset, but he would have hurt that lady if she was a person. Lady was bogus. He needs some indica. He found a dispute. The bank agreed with her. You
see how gleeful he is? He literally reading every single comment.
The candles were from marketing VIP type bundle box, something like that. Oh, okay. The $1 million question is, why did he block you? No, I blocked him, Putin. Get it right. If he disagrees with PayPal, he should take it up with his bank. Okay. He was more insulted by the subliminal post than the broken candles. Okay, I'm catching up. I'm going down. I done skipped over y'all stuff. Okay. Kind of over it. Sorry. I mean,
so he claims to be over it after he spent well over 10 minutes reading every single comment about what was happening. Then, as we'll see, well, the live went, I don't know, 2 hours or what. Well, I have an hour and 41 minutes of recording. It was longer than that because, again, I caught it after it had started. He spends time not only reading all the comments, then De-hiver gets on. She gives a play-by-play and drags Jeremy. He joins in that. Then he kicks her off because he's bored with her because she a little woo-hoo. And then he begins to drag Jeremy even more. But you're kind of over it.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, what you want me to say about the situation? Yeah, come on, Sarita, huh?
So now he's pulling up his De-hiver. And we're going to jump around a little bit because I was trying to edit. I didn't have enough time to edit this out. Some of her rambling. As you'll come to the same conclusion I did about her, that Darius Crooks has a certain kind of follower where when you start to really listen to him, you like, they're a few knives short of a sharp a drawer full of sharp knives, or they're a few screws loose. I'm trying to think of the sayings. A little woohoo. She tells us, yeah, this ain't even Breon, y'all. Y'all know we got Breon already on the list, and there's a bunch of others. That I'm only naming the ones that have come on camera. She not far-fetched. Listen to her, y'all.
We need Aretha, and we need, where's Ruby? We need Ruby too. Hi, Courtney.
Hey, sugar.
How you doing?
Listen.
With your crazy self.
No, I've had some medicine, so I'm a little calmer. But
I had some medicine, so I'm a little bit calmer.
Is this how you are when you get your medicine? I'll take to see when you don't.
Listen, okay.
And he always pulls up those kind of people because they're the ones that are easier to manipulate. He looks for the weakest link.
But let me tell y'all, let me get to the light because I know a bitch gonna say something about my brows and my hair. I ain't combed my hair. Hold on, let me get up.
Do I need to cut these comments off, Sharifa?
Oh, let the bitches talk, because you know all it takes is one thing to trigger me.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me wipe my phone. Let me tell you about Jeremy. Y'all all know how I feel about Jeremy, right?
No, how do you feel?
Darius. you know I can't stand that. And y'all, for the record, I have a candle to demonstrate for y'all lying ass folks that's on this live. The candles were not loose, but they were not torn up. But let me tell you how,
from the girl?
They were not torn up. He demonstrated out of the box. So I'm going to show you that, but you asked me a question that I need to answer, bro.
Right.
You said, how do I feel about him? Like, he is the most obnoxious crybaby in the world, and he contradicts himself. Like, he said,
biggest obnoxious crybaby in the world, and he contradicts himself. Are we talking about Darius Crooks? Because that can define Darius Crooks. That does define him.
It's not about the $600. Yes, the fuck it is. It's all about the $697. He's mad as fuck because he lost $697.
Hold on. Do you think it's the money, or do you think it is the I am Kake King? You don't disrespect me and make me lose my money because I'm Kake King. Okay, both. Okay.
But it's more of, to me, and y'all might disagree, and that's fine. To me, it's more of the money. Because here's the thing. You can pop your shit from time to time. You do say stuff like, bitch, I got money.
Right. Well, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Darius Crooks, in her opinion, every once in a while pops his collar and lets people know that he has money. Every once in a while, not every single day, not every time he gets online, not every sentence that he speaks. You see how they adjust it to make his seem a little bit more reasonable, but it's the opposite of what reality really is. And even while she's saying, well, but you every once in a while pop your collar about, you know, you got money. Yeah, because I do. He couldn't even hold back in that moment. She oblivious though.
But you also stay humble. Like we pump you up.
Yeah.
Like we be on this. We be like.
I'm putting the poll question out in a second. Is Darius Crooks ever humble? Ever?
You know you the shit. Like when you said something the other day. Oh, when you were mixing, I was like Darius. I want to type so bad like Darius, but I ain't feel like he in Breon's mouth. I was like Darius. Chill out, Darius, because you know the fuck. You know you the shit, bro. But I ain't feel like Breon.
Why did y'all do this to me? Why did you do this to me?
This is my screen so I can say how
Instead, don't cut these goddamn comments off. I just said that.
And you can tell don't nobody over there like Breon, but they understand that their master, their leader, aka Darius Crooks, loves the chaos and how Breon keeps it uncomfortable for people in the chat. She keeps the discord enough when no one feels 100%, except for it's a few handful of them that they're good because they're attached to Darius too. But the rest of them are afraid of ending up kicked out of the cult due to responding to Breon in a way that Breon doesn't like and then causes chaos. She taps the leader, Darius Crooks, on the shoulder, and then they get booted. She's telling you she basically hates Breon, but she acting like, but we sisters. Girl, please. You hate her. You just said
it. From time to time, you do say stuff like, bitch, I got money.
Right. Well, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
But you also stay humble. Like we pump you up.
Yeah.
Like we be on this. We be like you know you the shit. Like when you said something the other day. Oh, when you were mixing, I was like Darius. I want to type so bad like Darius, but I ain't feel like he in Breon's mouth. I was like Darius. Chill out, Darius, because you know the fuck. You know you the shit, bro. But I ain't feel like he in Breon.
Why did y'all do this to me? Why?
And he loves when there's discord. He loves when they're fighting amongst each other. Y'all know I don't play that over here. Y'all can't be fighting each other and thinking I'm gonna sit there in the middle and just laugh about it. I'm gonna go ahead and be tapping people on the shoulder privately about those sort of situations. A couple of y'all been tapped. I don't like the discord. If we're supposed to be a virtual community, a virtual family, we don't have to have this chaos and treating people like, you know, crap and less than and all these tiers of hierarchy and all this foolishness that they do over there. It's crazy. It's sick. But you know, it's also the way that all cults are laid out. They all operate like this.
My screen so I can say how
Instead, don't cut these goddamn comments off. I just said that.
Because we know Breon ain't gonna talk. Even if you cut them off, Breon gonna talk, right? I love you, Breon. But you be doing the most in the comments, Breon. Like I be like, Breon, I don't say shut up, but you're cool.
Look at her. She really want to go in on Breon, but she's nervous. She knows she can't. You be doing the most. But I love you, girl. Yeah, I mean, I be wanting to tell you, wanting to say shut up, but I wouldn't say shut up to you. No, Master, I'm not saying nothing about Breon. Your head, lapdog in charge.
We all sisters. Anyway.
We all sisters. She tried to fix it up. Girl, we know what you're saying. You hate Breon, and many of you, a lot of them do. She's not alone. Trust me, she's not.
It was the money. Because I don't give a fuck what he said. When I see a content creator at the same hotel as me, I'm like, and you on Facebook, like, and on Instagram, which is Gucci, like you a baller. No, the fuck you're not. You're just as regular as I am, okay? And then when he said, this how I knew he lying. When he said Ty brought those candles in, he fucking serious. That box was wider than my bag. Ty little bitty 75-pound ass that been there from. His 75-pound ass.
What?
Darius.
For those of you who don't know, Ty is Jeremy's husband. And so Darius Crooks likes to, insult Jeremy's husband at any turn because he's effeminate and dresses, I guess, ambiguous, androgynous. I guess at times or whatever. Like, he'll wear a blouse or a purse and stuff like that. And I don't know what, I think they paint their nails, whatever else. But Darius Crooks loves to take digs at that. And so he, of course, has his de-hags doing the same thing. She's now tapping into that. He's loving it. And watch how he plays into it.
What's that look? That look on my side.
He's 75-pound ass. Darius, he lifted shit. He did not lift that box. Okay. He lied. Y'all don't say shit. My birthday is September 2nd. I got a haircut appointment Friday. If I see one comment about my hair being nappy, I'm gonna go off on you and your man. I'm telling you now. Okay, but let me tell you, Darius. So he unboxed the candle, right? So he unboxed the candle. When he unboxed them, and y'all be like, well, Darius, how do you do?
Oh, let me skip. I was trying not to skip that far.
From Denver. And let me
Oh, Lord. I should let it be. She bores me, to be honest, so I was trying to skip ahead, but it's hard.
Don't turn the candle over. When I take the candle out of the box, I keep the shit like this, and I like the shit, right?
Yeah.
He intentionally did like this, shaking them out the box. Now, would they have been some candles that I would have ordered? Probably not. To support a friend, yes. But $700 worth? No.
Well, they said he was doing it to put it, he was going to do like reselling or something, to put them in boxes or something.
Okay. He did that shit.
How he know that if he just learning the stuff through the comment section earlier that he just read rapid fire? That means, well, I already noticed about Darius Crooks. He been in the drama all day, as long as it's been going on, reading Jeremy's stuff from his burner account. And also, yeah, he got a handful of de-haggers coming in his chat or coming in his DM saying stuff. Then he gets on live already knowing the scenario and trying to act like he's only talking about it because the de-hags brought it up. And let me get familiar. But here he's telling on himself because he knows that Jeremy bought him as bulk product to resell. Telling on himself.
Bash that lady. He did that shit, but guess what? It's karma. It's karma, because don't you think, you cannot think that when you cause people to lose money, that shit ain't gonna come back on you. It's going to come back on you. That's not all he's gonna lose. I'm telling you, you can't do the shit that he has done to people and think that good is gonna follow you.
So the narrative she's going with that statement is, remember, for those of you who've been around, in our playlist, I'm gonna have to separate into a separate playlist, but we got the Three Kings fiasco that Darius Crooks was partnered with Corey Brim and Jeremy the Kake King, and it fell apart because of Darius Crooks, really. Well, the tickets wasn't selling, that's a whole nother thing. Darius Crooks' ego was bruised because the tickets weren't selling the way that he expected. He expected to sell out like he claims that he's able to do or was able to do with the Dining with Darius Crooks events and with these, crock pots and dildos that he sells online. So Darius Crooks is the one who was counseling the event because his ego was bruised because Hennessy was making fun of him for the melted Hennessy Brussels sprouts. And everybody was making fun of it. It was TikTok videos, pranks clowning him or skits clowning him and all of that. His ego was bruised and he knew that it wasn't going to be a runaway success of an event. So to circumvent that, he was about to cancel it. However, Jeremy, through all the other chaos, and I'm not going to revisit it all right here, But through all the other chaos, Jeremy was like, I'm getting out of this now. This is toxic. It's not good for my mental health, et cetera, et cetera. I got people coming after me and my videos being made and stuff. And that ain't even the life I've ever lived, et cetera. Jeremy ends up quitting the morning of before Darius Crooks canceled the event entirely. And Darius Crooks is going to cancel it on a Monday because they supposed to have a meeting on Monday. Jeremy quit Sunday morning. Had Jeremy waited until the next day, Darius Crooks was going to cancel that event. However, when Jeremy quit on that Sunday morning instead, Darius Crooks changed what he was going to do and decided to put the blame on Jeremy and say Jeremy is the reason why the event is canceled. Jeremy left them hanging. Now, why he couldn't find another baker, since he's supposed to be so popular, isn't Darius Crooks. He's supposed to be so popular and everybody was really there for him anyway, and he's the Beyonce of the group. You can get any kind of desserts. Supposedly, you're great at desserts too. Why not just take over the desserts? He wasn't supposedly adding anything to the team. Let you tell it today. Why not you just fill in that gap and still have your successful multi-million revenue event? Why? Because that part was a lie. It wasn't going to never be that. And he knew that. And that's why he wanted to pull out. But he needed someone to blame so that the De-hives had something to put their attention towards. And so he put it on Jeremy. And she is one of the flying monkeys who bought into that narrative that Jeremy is the reason that the event didn't go through. So fast forward months later, what are we, 6 months plus later? I don't know how long. Months later, now we got her sitting here saying, Jeremy gonna get his karma for making you lose money, massa. What? Darius Crooks was canceling the event. And it always makes me wonder when I see them behaving like this, is it that they are not really following daily and seeing all the moving parts? Or are they just that delusional and love bombed that they don't even see it when it's right in their face? I'm like, maybe she missed those pieces. Maybe she missed him, Darius Crooks, going live 3 separate times, talking about how he was contemplating canceling the event way before Jeremy quit. Way before. But now Jeremy needs to be punished by God, and he's going to get his karma because he's making people lose money. As in, he made my massa lose his money. It's crazy.
You cannot. Let me tell you something. So you know it's hard for me not to argue, right? So
it's hard for me not to argue. No sane person has ever uttered those words. No sane person has ever uttered, it's hard for me not to argue. What?
Oh,
and she's supposed to be a trusted source of Darius Crooks' character.
So I got home.
I can tell.
Huh?
I can tell.
It's hard as fuck, but my husband is very humble, right? So he has to tell me, Sharifa, stand down. So I was at my mother-in-law's house yesterday, right? And I saw a white man. He came on the camera on my phone. So I was like, what the fuck? You know. So I came on the camera. I said, yes. He said, can you call me?
This story literally goes nowhere. I edited out of, I'm working on some other content with this. I edited it out, but I'm going to just let y'all see how delusional all this is.
I said, who are you? He said, I'm the fire chief. So behind him, I see smoke. So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? Long story short, my dumbass cousin next door set the whole field on fire. And it was coming towards the house, right? So why the fuck am I talking about this? I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
I got you. Don't worry, because I do it all the time. You were saying it's hard for you not to argue.
Right, but how was I gonna connect that shit to Jerry?
She don't even know what she was talking about. She'd have went to her mother-in-law's house with a fire chief and a fire in the field next, and she don't know where she was going with that story. She just happy to get FaceTime with her master.
I don't know.
You had what you had? You had edibles?
I did. From Denver. And let me tell you, they don't fuck with you in the airport.
No.
Bruh.
No, it's okay. Listen, that happens to me every night. When I be on live and I be telling y'all, and I say, can y'all help me? Remind me. So you would say you was at your mother-in-law's house. I'm trying to say what you said. Mother-in-law's house. The white man was on the camera. It was a fire chief. You was talking about Jeremy. You said it was hard for you not to argue.
And I still don't know.
You still don't have it.
That's not, and then my mama had dementia. So I be like fucked up between is it edible, is it the orange settle, but these bitches here.
You ain't gotta tell me.
Bruh. Can I tell you my last experience?
Now they both online talking about illegal drug transporting drugs across state lines. They not that smart. They not that smart.
We were in Denver, right? So my husband and I were walking. I was like, Wayne, how much? And they can't look. TSA. I don't know if they on here. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Okay. Anyway, how? I'm like, there, y'all.
There's got more important things to do than to sit on this live stream. He didn't say busy.
Okay, so they don't give a fuck. You know how y'all be like, well, there, how do you do? I don't know. I was like, I said, if they catch me, the only thing I'm going to say is, well, I thought my niece took them out, just trash them. But take your Ziploc bag.
Nah, you good. You can go to what you call it, and you fine. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
But anyway, that's how. But no, back on Jeremy real quick, because I said 30 seconds. He was intentionally, not me spitting. He was intentionally checking them out. I think it was part two. He's an attention seeker.
Jeremy is the attention seeker, not Darius Crooks, who when he sees other influencers having a viral moment, he inserts himself into it. Wasn't it Grandma Holla, Nim? Remember when she passed away and her family was doing a GoFundMe for funeral? Was it GoFundMe, y'all? I think it was GoFundMe maybe for the funeral expenses. And then he inserts himself in it and starts dragging them and talking about why Black folks don't be having money for when their relatives pass away, and how much money she was making. And if they could, what was he saying? If they, he'll pay for the funeral, but he only gonna pay for the funeral if he can pay the funeral home directly. Lying ass. Did he pay for the funeral? Nope. Then he going back and forth. The goal of that was to get in that drama, because many of you who watch and follow that stuff, you know how viral that was going at the time when Grandma Holla passed away. Next thing you know, the fighting became not from the public to the family. It became Darius Crooks and the family fighting. Darius Crooks got his viral moment. Then remember the supposed alleged DL guy. Darius Crooks inserted himself into that. Tabitha Brown, when her restaurant closed, Darius Crooks inserted himself into that. Most recently, and this other stuff, that's off the top of my head. Most recent, Kev on Stage, he had done a video about his podcast, like his platform, his podcast specifically was starting to lose money. The viewership was down, et cetera, et cetera. He was talking about, how it would be, it was affecting his payroll, et cetera. Darius Crooks inserts himself in that. Most recently, we had the Miss Netta stuff. There's a bunch of stuff with Miss Netta and Charles. What Darius Crooks do? Insert himself into that with the fake Versace labels and all of that. And next thing you know, that went on for well over a month. Then he going live with her and he telling Miss Netta her problem is she's so toxic and she be snapping on her followers and stuff, and that's going to affect her brand, and people don't like that negative energy and they not going to be watching her. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And now he's doing the same thing to Jeremy. Jeremy's the Jeremy got his issues. I'm not defending Jeremy in the least. What I am saying is people in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. The pot shouldn't be calling the kettle black. That's what we're talking about over here. Same when it came to Miss Netta. I had some people under those videos acting as if, the conversation was about whether or not Miss Netta was right or wrong. That had nothing to do with it. Or if what Darius Crooks was saying was factual or not about her brand, that wasn't the point. The point is, how can someone whose brand Their entire brand is trash, with the exception of their indoctrined cult-like following. Outside of that, their brand is garbage. How do you advise someone on how to have how they behave online? Your brand is not trash because it was trash during its inception. It's what you turned it into through your toxic behavior and scamming and psychopathic behavior. That's how it became trash, through your negative toxic behavior and business practices. And then you have the audacity, when someone else has a bit of a problem, to then have your ass on a pedestal. Get your ass off that pedestal, because nobody told you you belong on a pedestal. You are not higher than or above any of these people. You are still less than. Jeremy can still get a brand deal. You can't. The only people that Darius Crooks can get to defend him is his delusional followers and clout-chasing media. Like clout-chasing influencers who have him on because they think they're going to get a couple extra views because of him. That is it. No legitimate news sources will vouch for him. No legitimate brands will vouch for him. Just flying monkey behavior. That is all that he could ever get to vouch for him.
He has either positive or negative, but what floored me was when he said there's no emotions in business.
He said, when did he say that? Because I heard, this is my second time hearing somebody say he said that. When did he say this?
He said the shit on, he said he was on the live. And when he said that, was
this something he had said previously or something you heard today?
He said it today.
Okay.
It's on Facebook. And so he said, there's no emotion. And I'm like thinking, Jeremy, you're the biggest fucking crybaby the world knows. So how could he, here's my thing. How can he fix his mouth to say the things that he said about other people? And I don't care, you don't have to see it, I'm gonna see it for you with all four of my eyes. Baby, listen. He want to be you so bad, and I know I done said this before, and I'm gonna say it to the day.
Jeremy want to be him. I think I'm supposed to want to be him too. I think everybody want to be Darius Crooks. Everybody want to be a narcissistic, sociopathic influencer with a cult-like following, who got to run out of the country to keep running from the scams or the consequences of their scams. He is literally leaving the country to run away from the fact that he has no brand here anymore. Besides the cult following, don't get me wrong, because some of y'all, he make money, yes, from a cult following. That's it, not the mass public. Get it through your head. P-brain monkey heads, get it through them.
He tried, but he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the personality. And it has nothing to do with him being from Jackson, Mississippi.
This is where they're also lost. They think that everyone has to be sassy, giving you Tyler Perry Madea-like antics in order to be entertaining and charismatic. They are so one-dimensional that the only people they find interested in are people with Sambo-like behavior. If you're not given that kind of behavior, it's not interesting to them. The Negro digging in his teeth on camera and not an excuse me in sight, belching, smacking, hawking, all that. That's funny to them. No coof at all. Not demure at all. That's what they find entertaining. Low vibrational. Thank you, Saint Center. They are very low vibrational. And that's what they're entertained by. Low vibrational entertainment. So he gets on there. People are giving true accounts of his horrendous toxic behavior and predatory practices with business, etc. And he does a Donald Trump. And his reply is, they laugh too much. You see how stupid they laugh is? They like, you right. They lying because look at how they laugh. What does that have to do with him scamming? Somebody call him out. Your makeup bad. Her makeup bad. Meanwhile, she's saying he's broken her house and robbed her. But they get distracted by that. It's very MAGA Trump-like behavior.
Well, I know that with 2 stoplights. That's what he said, remember?
Well, yeah. And it's just, it has nothing to do with his Southern draw. It's just, it's him and his arrogance. And like I said, I saw him in person. He's really the first content creator that I've seen in person. And I told you, we were both at the Sheridan on Canal, 500 Canal, my husband and I, and he and his husband. And he's just regular, getting into the same dusty-ass Ubers that we were getting into, the same, but you get on Facebook and you front like you something. That's the shit I don't like. Like, be who you are. That doesn't get you anywhere in life, then go back to corporate. But
okay, so, I mean, we can kind of look at this a couple different ways. Something mental is there. We gotta acknowledge that. Something
he loves to prey on Jeremy's admitted mental health issues. Darius Crooks claims mental health trauma every time he gets caught up in something. Who does that and then turns it on people? But he tries to make it like Jeremy is just needs to be admitted into a mental hospital.
Mental is there, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not. No stable person acts this way over a period of time. And I can see if you acted this way toward a specific subgroup, or you acted this way toward a specific person, right? Or a group of people. But these behaviors, we're seeing these over and over again in various different arenas. So at this point, it's no longer the scenario, because
this is coming from the person who has well over 2 decades of people saying how horrible of a person they are, and all kind of drama. So much so that I literally have a system that is archiving all of the digital media related to his drama. People in the exposing group keep a drama calendar. What is he talking about? And all of this drama that Darius Crooks has had and continues to have and will continue to have are not all isolated to specific people, situations, persons, places, or things. The only common denominator in all of the drama that Darius Crooks has been in, will be in, is Darius Crooks. So what the hell? Darius Crooks drama is so big that it has become national on multiple occasions. Jeremy, even with this little drama he got going on, it's not national news. And it's a beef between him and a vendor of some sort.
Still acting the same way. This is you. Yeah, this is you.
It's you.
And so I don't know necessarily if he recognizes that, right? But I think we also understand that there's something mental going on. I don't know if if he keeps going down this path and not, getting healing and not dealing with this, what is that going to do for him long term? I have no idea. But I also know this. Here's what I know. Let me tell you what I do know.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy don't have the money he say he has. It's evident, right? And the moment you get a bump, like, I made $157,000 this past weekend. I think I spent 25. So,
didn't she say he only pops his collar here or there? He's talking about money again.
It was 68 at Auntie Sherry's dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's like at a certain point, you have to make sure that you're doing things in your business that make sense. My fear, it's not even a fear because I don't care for him, right? Anymore to have fear, but the concern or the idea here is that how you gonna support your lifestyle, and every time you do something, you're acting out. And what that's doing is, in the minds of most people, that's leaving a horrible impression, right? And they're going, this is too immature. I'm getting off the boat. You turned me off. And it's happened over and over again. I would love to see what his Shopify sales. I know he said he made $500,000 over the course of the year, whatever. Fine. Okay, that's beautiful. Right. But I know this has to have some sort of effect on his monetary stuff. And I'm telling you this because we've had private conversations about money and like things like, so for example, trying to get to Puerto Rico for the retreat, right? Mm-hmm. It was like.
This is another thing about Darius Crooks that we've seen, is when he falls out with someone who was a friend at some point, he will tell every ounce of their business to the mass public. What this situation with him traveling to Puerto Rico with Jeremy and his boyfriend, the conversations they had leading up to it, Jeremy's financial situation, etc. What does that have to do with the issue that Jeremy's having with a vendor regarding candles? Why does Jeremy didn't get on today and started dogging Darius Crooks. Hasn't even mentioned Darius Crooks. To my knowledge, he still hadn't said nothing about Darius Crooks since the day he said, I quit. And even on the day he quit the Three Kings tour, he never uttered Darius Crooks' name. So why does Darius Crooks thinks that he now should have permission to be able to air this man's entire financial situation out as of what he knows about it? It's toxic. And somebody said he also did it with Jessica P. He did it with Coils by Nature, who was his friend. We covered this story a couple months ago. She came to him. She's a friend of his who was in business. She owned a hair care line, I think hair care and health and beauty line. And she helped him figure out how to get his warehouse, the logistics of how to run a warehouse, et cetera, et cetera. She helped him with all of that. She ran into some financial problems. She needed a few thousand to try to save her business. He said, no, fine, whatever, we can go with that. But then he blasted her to the public and then told all her business, even about her issues with her husband, and showed text message exchanges, etc. Because she got online and she was crying and distraught because she said she realized that people whose back she's always had and who she thought were real friends really didn't have her. She has a right to feel that way. Even in that, she never once said Darius Crooks' name. And in return, he blasted her and aired out all of her dirty laundry. And another female business owner of the t-shirt line, forgetting the name off the top of it because I had only heard of it through this drama, but another separate lady who he was friends with, threw them both under the bus. Now we're at Jeremy. Now, Jeremy, we've been watching him throw breadcrumbs of shade since Jeremy left the Three Kings tour. But now, as we get further away, he goes harder and harder against Jeremy, trying to have his de-hives turn against, and it's through his own hatred, self-hatred, and toxicity. He is such a hurt human being that if you leave him, he's got to be the abandonment stuff. You know, his mama left him, his daddy left him. He don't communicate with his mother. His mother's still alive. His father only saw him 2-3. Yeah, Mess in a Bottle. Thank you, Chanel. Mess in a Bottle was the other woman-owned business, and he went after her as well. He was mad at her though because Pinky from Slutty Vegan was helping her out when she started having financial issues. And Pinky did it in a very positive way. She actually had a collaborative kind of mentoring program to help teach her how to raise the money. And then her and other celebrities promoted the lady's brand to get her an infusion of money from people buying the products. And then Pinky has been mentoring her to help her run a successful business. What does Darius Crooks do instead? To his friend, point out all her flaws and air out text messages. But he's supposed to be a good, humble human being. What? And we got Jeremy, same thing. Jeremy left because of the toxicity and drama. And now you want to air him out. The kitchen comeback, right? Chantel, thank you, KG. Y'all know these stories. Y'all can sit here and present with me. the kitchen comeback. Chantel's Justin Till in Sanford, Florida. Same thing. She needed help. She came to Darius Crooks saying, hey, my business is struggling. You know, the customers, you know, patrons, it's down. If you could help promote, but she was like, she needed money specifically, but not even if not the money, if he could help promote her in some way. His idea was the kitchen comeback, which really turned into a dining with Darius Crooks event that he wanted to start doing throughout the country at people's restaurants. He wanted to take over their restaurants under the guise of, as he's supposedly helping them out, but he was bringing in his own recipes. He wasn't teaching them the recipes. He was bringing in his own staff. Chantel, after paying attention to our commentary over here, good job, people. She paid attention to our commentary, and other people was letting her friends and stuff whispering in her ear. She ended up saying, no, you know what? For one, we need a contract because he didn't want to do no contract. For two, she was like, you know what? How about you just pay me a flat fee and rent the space? He does that, and it still was drama. He couldn't run a successful event. What'd he do? Turn on her, drag her, put all her business out there, her financial situation, what bills she paid with the money, how he found out through his assistant, his warehouse person, all that. He is not a good human being. And why they can't see it, or no, why they choose not to see it is beyond me. Beyond me. She's sitting over here hyping Darius Crooks up like he is something special. Meanwhile, Darius Crooks is literally planning his exit strategy from the USA because of all of the consequences of all his toxic behavior, scamming, predatory practices, shady business dealings, etc.
Because he was like, well, let's just go to Atlanta. It's cheaper, right?
Oh, did it freeze? What?
So we can focus, things like that. And then trying to get to Puerto Rico, it was pulling teeth. But once he finally got there, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best time I've ever had. This is the third. So this speaks to somebody who doesn't have what they say they have and don't move like they want you to believe they move. And I don't know if he's connecting the dots between what we can see and what we can't see on social media. And that's the detriment, not just to him, but also to his brand. You know, if you saw me.
Darius Crooks has literally built his brand on smoke and mirrors. Darius Crooks literally built his brand on fake it until I make it. He has happened now after over a decade, and only in the past 2 years or so has Darius Crooks hit the threshold of where he has the appearance of actually a millionaire status to a degree. However, it is still built on a scampire, and they're still smoke and mirrors today. In this moment, they are still smoke and mirrors. She is not transparent. She gives the illusion of it, but she is not. Is it not working?
I think out this way on social. Like, I will go up to the line, but I won't cross it.
You won't cross.
Right? I'm not gonna cross the line. Now I will walk up to that motherfucker girl, toe pointed right at it, but I won't cross the line. If you saw me,
do y'all know what would be crossing the line for him? Because I've seen him do the worst of the worst. He's doxed people. He's put people's children out there. He's wrote many times, F those kids. He's harassed people. He's made people lose their jobs. He's stolen money from people who were of low means. He's harassed people so much that their mental health was at stake from his harassment. Where's the line then? Is it I haven't unalived anyone? Because that's all that seems like is left. He's lied, cheated, stolen, abused mentally and physically. He's been arrested. Remember the mugshot, because he physically attacked an employee. The only thing I see that's missing is unaliving. Is that his line? Is that his line? Crooks, is that your line? Is that the line you won't cross? You just won't unalive nobody. Because other than that, I've seen you do everything else.
Responding and acting the exact same way that you see him responding and reacting. The question is, how prompt would you be to support my business, right? How prompt would you be to say, I want a cutting board, I want a skillet, right? The products aren't that great that it supersedes sort of your own personal value system and things that don't run parallels as such. So in the grand scheme of things, I just wonder if that outlook is in his purview, because if it's not in his purview, that's a detriment. And
this how he get him. This word vomit. And it's a bunch of words. You can see her eyes then glazed over. Because she like, master saying words. They sound fancy. Fancy words. Master smart. Master sounds so eloquent. Master's dissertation. Master great. Like she's in a trance and not understanding that he's spouting off a bunch of BS. You tell she a little lost. Look at her eyes. She a little lost at what he's saying. And he said a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. And it's all a contradiction to who he truly is and what he does.
That could be another reason he's acting out, right? Because it's like, well, I'm not making the money. And I don't know. He needs a therapist. He needs a psychiatrist.
He does. And when he mentions backing,
says the woman who starts off by saying she's crazy and she took her medicine today. And he still said, oh, and this is your crazy when you take your medicine, because it's still bad. Not Dumb and Dumber, but Crazy and Crazier. Crazy and Crazier are sitting here trying to drag Jeremy. He need therapy. So do y'all. What?
off of social media, but yet
neither one of them get off them goddamn pedestal. Now she done got up there. Get your ass off that pedestal. What are y'all doing? Two mentally ill people sitting there trying to drag another man for whatever his mental health situations might be. If you don't sit down and get offline, it ain't healthy for neither one of y'all.
Stays on social media, I can't make that make sense. He definitely needs a psychiatrist. If he goes to a psychiatrist, he needs a new psychiatrist. But the first part of therapy,
when she said that if he goes to a psychiatrist, he needs a new psychiatrist. Darius Crooks claims that he has a psychiatrist and have had one for a couple of years. It ain't working. It ain't working. Or he just telling them whatever the hell he want to tell them. Maybe the guy don't follow him at all.
Darius is being honest with yourself.
He can't. I was going to say, even if he goes to the psychiatrist and he don't like the way the psychiatrist looks, then it's like, I can't tell you the number of times I talked him off the ledge. Like we had Corey. I know Corey's capabilities. I work with the man just about every damn day. You know what I'm saying? So despite his personal stuff, he's got a little ways to go professional, but he gets the job done. And
he's just dragging Corey. This man is incapable of giving someone their flowers without taking a couple petals off of it. He is incapable of it. This shows you how narcissistic and psychopathic he is, because he feels like he is invincible. No one is at his level, even in their own craft. No one is at his level. He even had said during the I almost said Three Queens, during the Three Kings tour situation. Remember during that Q&A, I love that Q&A. We need to revisit that just for ish and giggles. During that Q&A, remember he was saying, as they were saying what they were gifted in, you got Corey Brim, who is the bartender, and you got Jeremy, who was the baker. Darius Crooks stated as he gives his resume, I could easily, I bake and I make drinks and I could easily do what both of them are doing, but it's good to collaborate, blah, blah, blah. Who does that? Who dismantles their partners? Now to this day, Darius Crooks and Corey Brim are still cool or cordial or whatever, because Corey Brim a little slow. He still ain't understood. He probably still think the Three Kings tour might happen. We talked about Corey enough. Y'all know. He's sitting here telling you, you know, Corey, I've been around him every day. I know how he worked. He wasn't working with Corey Bram. They were planning the Three Kings tour. He has not ever worked with Corey Bram. The one event that they were supposed to have was Darius Crooks was doing the Thanksgiving dinner for his family in Chicago, family and friends. Corey Bram was supposed to work it for free for exposure as one of Darius Crooks' other scams. I was one of the first victims of that with his first business. You'll get exposure. Give me a discount. So Corey Bram was supposed to fly to Chicago and flip his own bill to fly to Chicago and work the event for free for exposure. It never happened because Darius Crooks canceled the event because he said his cousin was jealous because she didn't want to have all the family in her house family and his friends, his invite list in her house. She felt like maybe it's too small. She said, can we get an Airbnb? I'll even pay for it. He gets pissed off, cancels the whole event, and then brings up supposed alleged childhood trauma with a wet finger and a cousin. And starts airing people out in text messages. He put out their text messages too. She got a pattern. Don't text her if you smart. Any of y'all who deal with her today, current day, don't text her. Your text messages will become public at public disposal at any point in the future. For us to look at and me to put in my archives of other digital footage and one day premiere in a live or video. Don't text her. Don't put it in writing, not even emails. DMs, emails, or text. Don't send it to her unless you want us all to see them at some point. She can't be trusted. She's showing you. So anyway, he's sitting here in this moment saying, Corey, you know, he good at what he do, you know, even though he got his issues. And, you know, his business needs to be tightened up. Why are you dragging him while you're supposedly complimenting him? He's not a healthy person. He's not a healthy person. Because even if that's true, which we know it is, we know it's true. We've watched enough of Corey. We know it's true. But why is it necessary to say that if you're supposedly trying to say how good Corey is at what he does? And he ain't done.
If he goes to a psychiatrist, he needs a new psychiatrist. But the first part of therapy, Darius, is being honest with yourself.
He can't. I was going to say, even if he goes to the psychiatrist and he don't like the way the psychiatrist looks, then it's like, I can't tell you the number of times I talked him off the ledge. You know, like, we had Corey. You know, I know Corey's capabilities. I work with the man just about every damn day. You know what I'm saying? So despite his personal stuff, you know, he's got a little way.
Despite his personal stuff,
to go professional, but you know,
he has a little ways to go professionally.
Get the job done.
He gets the job done.
I don't like Corey. Even find somebody else. Corey's not it. And I said, well, what happened with Corey? He did it. You never did it. Corey's not it. And I said, well, what?
I hate. I can't screw up through
the
here.
ledge. You know, like we had Corey. You know, I know Corey's capabilities. I work with the man just about every damn day. You know what I'm saying? So despite his personal stuff, you know, he's got a little ways to go professional, but you know, he gets the job done. And so, you know, he said, Corey, I don't like Corey, even find somebody else. Corey's not it. And I said, well, what happened with Corey? He did it. You never gave the man an opportunity. Then when we do equip Corey properly and Corey comes through shining, you know, like the flying colors, oh, he did such a great job.
So y'all remember this thing on. Because we got the receipts over here. We talked about this. This is this. I feel like, you know, I'm doing a presentation. I'm doing my TED Talk. Everything, a Scampire TED Talk. Remember when we had the Q&A watch party and Darius Crooks, I told y'all he was messy and he was purposefully trying to create division between Jeremy and Corey so that they wouldn't become close to each other. They would only be close to him and he would always remain the nucleus. It's a control tactic. Some of y'all not, well, I'd say y'all not flying monkeys over here. Y'all not de-hags. Some of y'all are. I saw that poll because 4% of y'all think he's very humble. That tells me who y'all really are. But for those of you who aren't hags, when it comes to a cult leader, they learn never to let the people bond together without them being in the center. Darius Crooks learned that lesson from his first business partnership, which I've told y'all before, was myself and his best friend from college, who is still my friend today. We're actually traveling in a couple of weeks for that friend's birthday. We've been close ever since the trauma that Darius Crooks put us through. Darius Crooks learned through that, because what he didn't successfully do was pit us, me and the other friend, against each other. We ended up bonding over what Darius Crooks was doing to both of us individually. So he learned from, and then, you know, after that, we came both against him and was about to sue him and everything else. And now here I am a decade later, and I won't shut the fuck up about it. So he learned his lesson. It's divide and conquer. So during that Q&A, remember, y'all, what he is saying right now, months later, he alluded to during the live. And I told y'all he wasn't joking. It was the truth. And he said, that's why I'm gonna put a whole little pre-recorded thing together with the actual clips. He said in that live, he said, yeah, that's not what you were saying about Corey. Tell Corey how you really feel about him, how you was telling me that you to get rid of him and whatever else he said. And I was like, who does that? And this was on the public platform. But today, fast forward months later, he's blaming Jeremy for the reason why the Three Kings tour wasn't successful. Meanwhile, he was creating chaos during the Q&A and other stuff. That's what I got right now for this moment. But now Darius Crooks is telling you it did happen. Why would you bring that up when they were supposedly, remember during the Q&A, they telling us, we happy. Y'all trying to mess us up. But what y'all don't understand is we close. Can't nothing mess us up. We real friends. We all successful. Y'all trying to disrupt us. Meanwhile, the head queen, stunt queen in charge, sitting there pouring her own salt in the situation. Why are you telling one of the business partners that the other business partner wanted them gone? That's not a solid foundation. You sitting there with a sledgehammer trying to put cracks in it. Get out of here.
Sir,
As if you can just say what you just said.
you can't be a leader and lead people in that way, right? Mm-hmm. Don't nobody know how you're going to respond. Mm-mm. You think I have employees work for me 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Do you think people would stick around with me 4 or 5 years if I was fickle and didn't know how to respond and didn't treat you right? That says something. The fact that I've got retention the way I have it is he can't.
And wrong answer. She's such a gaslighter. So she's exaggerating. She is calling she's calling other business owners who work for her occasionally employees. They are not employees. It's her name, Shakira, and I was Eugene, the videographer, old videographer guy, and whatever I just said, whatever name is. Those two have their own businesses and jobs. Shakira, they help him once a month now. I think he has, if that, where they'll film and do whatever they do for content. Those are not employees. My plumber is not an employee. He comes and does the work that I need him to do. My painter, who I hire for projects randomly, might see him a couple times a year. He is not my employee. That's what he's called an employee. The only employee thank you, Alice. Employees receive W-2s. The only employee that he may have, and he might be paying her under the table, so I'm not 100% sure she's legally considered an employee. But the only employee that he has is the person who works in his warehouse. I forget her name right now. Tammy, thank you, Don. Tammy is the only employee that he has who's consistent. I'll put it that way. And I don't even think she's in the warehouse daily because she don't need to be unless he running some scam sale and then cause some drama and some discount code. Other than that, I'm sure she ain't got stuff to ship out daily. Everybody else has been not even, they weren't even W-2 people. These was a cash paid people or 1099s. Corey, the videographer, who he fired over the summer. Corey was only with him a few months. Corey was not an employee in a traditional sense. Did not have a W-2. My brain is going blank. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all know these people's names. Not Jerome. I was finna say Jerome. Jerome was not. I don't know. Jerome, were you paid? His ex-boyfriend. Jerome, were you a 1099? Ramon, Quentin, Darren. What was the guy's Marcel? These are people that have been gone in the past 2 years. Because I only started paying attention to Darius Crooks in 2021, the summer of 2021. These are the people who've gone since then, who weren't even ever, none of them were around more than a year. So I did those. Who else? Madeline. Madeline was also not an employee. She was, she's a food photographer who also works, you know, she has many clients. One of her clients is Pinky, Slutty Vegan. That's the reason he got mad at her, because she started working with Pinky, who was also his arch nemesis. And she, the work that she did with Pinky for Slutty Vegan ended up in a Simon & Schuster published book on the New York, well, I don't know if it's on the New York bestsellers list or whatever, a real legitimate book. He got mad because she was working on that project, y'all. I'm telling y'all, smoke and mirrors. She won't tell you those parts of the story. Who else, y'all? Give me some no names. That's enough for now. I'll put it in the longer video. It's more people. That's off the top of my head. That's 6. Girl, your turnover rate is ridiculous. And they not employees. Gaslighting. Tammy the only one. And I think Tammy, honestly, now that I think about it, Tammy ain't been around no 5 years. He's talking about his vendors, the contract workers. Those are the only people for his content. Those are the people he's been working with for a few years. The videographer, the food photographer, who's now no longer. She's been gone almost a year now, probably a year now. I think this month makes a year, or next month makes a year, because I remember I was traveling when they fell out. And then and Shakira, whatever her name is. Those are content people. His warehouse, he didn't have employees. He had Ramon was working there. Crystal, his friend Crystal, was working there. And Darius Crooks would come dip in and out. And they had day labor there. And I'm thinking that's the same model he has now. Day labor and Tammy. Tammy works with the day labor. She is gaslighting. Darius Crooks is gaslighting. And this woman here is just eating it up.
There's no consistency.
No.
If I had to diagnose him, and I'm by no means a psychiatrist, but I would definitely, he's definitely bipolar. Definitely bipolar.
Something's going on here.
Right.
Something's going on.
Eyes exposed. I also see depression. I see anxiety. But it's whatever it is, it's deeply rooted. Like it's bigger than us. And you
well, let me tell you what I wonder about. Honey, this poor husband of his. This poor husband of his.
Baby.
So again, just for those who are joined a little later, because we got quite a few more in the chat, please hit that like button if you haven't as of yet. We got 146 likes, but 247 concurrent viewers currently. So it's 100 of y'all, 101, who have not liked. Please like the video. It's very helpful. Helps the channel grow. I'm actually surprised we have as many viewers. Lets me know that y'all did miss me and that I need to appear here more. And I appreciate that. So please hit that like button. Keep in mind, for those of you who join later, just need a little bit of a reminder. This whole conversation started based on Jeremy having some kind of fallout with a candle maker who delivered some candles that he felt were defective. They weren't responding. He blasted them publicly, and there's some kind of back and forth going on. Darius Crooks gets involved through his de-hivers, de-hags, and now they're talking about that situation. But it then causes Darius Crooks to start exposing and dragging Jeremy. Again, Jeremy hasn't mentioned Darius Crooks. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Jeremy has uttered Darius Crooks' name publicly ever since he quit the Three Kings tour. And even in his quitting, his farewell video, he never mentioned Darius Crooks' name and never directly said anything negative about Darius Crooks. So why are we here? So now, why is Darius Crooks on the topic of Jeremy's husband? What has Jeremy's husband done to deserve to be pulled into this conversation or this dragging? Because there ain't no conversation, it's dragging. This how messy they are. That man ain't even an internet influencer.
Like he be holding that entire house.
In those blouses, this poor
with his stomach, with his stomach out,
and those curses, and then he had to. They were talking about me because of you. You know, they were talking about you because of you.
No.
You were out here wearing blouses from Ross and your purses from down to the Shea La Rue. You think you supposed to be upset because you don't know that's what y'all doing.
Right.
They're talking about y'all.
And you know what? I wouldn't even be mad at him about that because now I love me some Ross, but you don't see me. I never get on, and I'm not an influencer, but I would never get on social media and try to be bigger than who I am. That's when I disconnect from him because you are so like nobody was coming up to him in New Orleans. Nobody walk your ass through the Sheridan. I'm talking about you. You walk through the Sheridan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So this is the issue. When your character doesn't match your integrity, you throw it off. Mm-hmm. This is where we are, right? You have somebody who is your character is who you are when everybody's looking, right? Integrity is what you have when nobody's around. Mm-hmm. The shit got to match up every single time, and there's a disconnect. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't see how people I couldn't comfortably buy any mixers from him because then if you complain or if something's wrong, he gonna pitch a bitch fit. And
you don't feel comfortable.
No.
This part was, I'm sorry, I had to walk away. This part, I'm like, where has she been? Did she just join the cult like yesterday? Did she just join the cult yesterday? Because what they're claiming, and again, I don't follow Jeremy, so maybe he does these things. Maybe that's true. But what she's claiming he does is exactly what her leader does.
I never get on, and I'm not an influencer, but I would never get on social media and try to be bigger than who I am. That's when I disconnect from him because you are so like nobody was coming up to him in New Orleans.
Trying to be bigger than who he is. That's what Darius Crooks gets online and does daily. Darius Crooks has money. Fine. I'm not disagreeing with that. Is he as multi-mega millionaire as he acts like he is? Not quite. However, yes, he does have a level of notoriety as in the sense of people are aware of him. So he'll get people here or there. But Darius Crooks is not a celebrity as they act like he is. Darius Crooks happens to be a known, I should say an infamous, because that means famous for negative behavior. He is an infamous influencer in the culinary space. Anyone outside of the culinary space, and if they not on the blogs and the neighborhood talk in the shade room, they ain't gonna know who the hell Darius Crooks is. And that's just the truth of it. So he is not famous the way that they want to act like he is. He's infamous in the culinary and drama space, period. All this other stuff is smoke and mirrors.
Nobody walk your ass through the Sheridan. I'm talking about you. You walk through the Sheridan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so this is the issue. When your character doesn't match your integrity, you're thrown off. Mm-hmm. This is where we are, right?
He loves to say that. When your character doesn't match your integrity. Girl, he remember the note I read, his mental health note. It was a post he did on Facebook many years ago, where he says the men in his life taught him how to have his integrity not match his character. He said they taught him that. That is what you're watching today. But now he flips the narrative as because he's indoctrinating in this moment and love bombing. He's acting as if his goal or he operates in his integrity matching his character. It does not. We got many receipts that show that. His behavior shows that. Hell, what we're watching right now shows that. Your character and your integrity would mean that if a person was your friend or associate, now let them tell it when the Three Kings tour first started. Oh, we friends. We've been friends a decade. That's my buddy. Oh, y'all can't get in the middle of none of this. Y'all don't know we got a bond that will last through eternity. All that. Then as soon as they start to fall apart for the Three Kings fiasco, Darius Crooks, we wasn't never friends. I ain't never been to that man's house. So you been lying? I don't even, he ain't even nobody I talk to. Then we go as far as now you drag his name. You turn your whole cult against him to drag him when the event fails and puts all the blame on him, as if that one person could sabotage something that this supposedly brilliant multimillionaire, aka Darius Crooks, he could pull off anything. So one monkey don't stop no show. That Three Kings tour could have went on without Jeremy, the Kake King. More than 90% of the Darius Crooks De-hives claim they didn't know who he was until Darius Crooks introduced them to him. So that means if he's out of the equation, y'all still good to go. How does he ruin the event? Somebody who's an unknown, y'all claim y'all didn't really care for him anyway. How does he affect the viability of continuing with the business then? That makes no sense. But again, back to character and integrity. A person with character and integrity, even if a business deal went awry, and I have been a part of multiple business deals that went awry that were partnerships. But because of my character and integrity that I actually do have and operate in, I have never dragged those people publicly. I have never aired them out and shown text messages and, oh, look at this check I wrote him because of this and that. And I ain't never had to do that. Because why? My character and integrity. It's not necessary. It's BS. It ain't much more than this. We're going to watch her. It's something else. It's a couple things he said. I don't know how long this part was. I wasn't watching it live. Yeah. I think it's maybe 20 minutes total. I don't know. It's got to be maybe 30 minutes total. Because he kicks her off eventually. He get bored with her too.
Your character is who you are when everybody's looking, right? Integrity is what you have when nobody's around. Mm-hmm. The shit got to match up every single time. And there's a disconnect. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't see how people, like, I couldn't comfortably buy any mixers from him, because then if you complain or if something's wrong, he's going to pitch a bitch fit. And
you don't feel comfortable.
No.
You don't feel comfortable.
No.
Right.
Imagine buying something from an internet influencer and for whatever reason, you're not satisfied, or maybe you never get the order and you actually communicate that. Imagine if you did that and then they block you, and then you maybe find another means to reach out to them, or you make a fuss in a public sense. And then they, next thing you know, your address, your name, your social media platforms, profiles become their profile picture. They putting all your information out there, your husband, your kids, imagine, would you want to continue to buy products from them? If Jeremy is operating like that, I would agree. I would be fearful to purchase items from them. Well, in more ways than that, I just think it's a toxic level of behaving. So I wouldn't buy for that reason, really not out of fear. But imagine that. She's talking to the person who does that. That was his business model. That was literally his business model. You complain. You know how many times we have seen people say, sorry, don't block me, but I have a question. I'm being for real. Please don't block me, but I was just wondering what my order is. Please don't block me. Darius, I'm not trying to be funny. Please, can you answer my email? Darius, I sent 7 emails. Could you please answer? Send the 8th one. What? And she's talking about Jeremy, and she's talking to a notorious scammer who has done that sort of behavior. intimidation tactics. Do you know why we don't see a ton of people? Why I don't have as many people who have been scammed by Darius Crooks and harmed in a multitude of ways by Darius Crooks. There's literally been so many people that we would be able to have live interviews for a whole year or more, well, more than a year. I'll be able to every day of the week have somebody new come up here and tell their story. Do you know why we don't have them that often? It ain't because the people don't exist. Wait, where are the people, as he say? The people exist. Some of them have stated stuff on social media here or there. The mass majority of them are fearful of retaliation. And these are people as simple as they paid for a Dining with Darius Crooks event and he never gave them the address. You know, they had to wait till the day of the event, a couple hours before the event, to actually get the address. All they knew was the vicinity of the city it would be in. And they would have to wait for that text message or email. Or, no, it wasn't text message, email. And if they didn't get it, God forbid they didn't get it, which many people did not on various occasions. God forbid they say something. What happens? They get doxxed. They get called out. The flying monkeys attack them. The De-hives. You lying. You ain't get cheated out nothing. Look at her. She worked for Blue Cross. Call her job and get her fired. She hating on Darius Crooks. All that. Because their master didn't follow through and somebody done spent $600, $900, $1,200 on tickets for them and they other hag friends. They're afraid to speak out. It ain't that they don't exist. And why are they afraid to speak out? Because they've seen this stunt queen hundreds of times dox and drag people and do all kind of cyberbullying. And she's sitting here, has the audacity to sit here and act like Jeremy is the one that's notoriously known for that. Girl, if you don't get off that pedestal.
What I'm gonna do is, why y'all didn't do y'all address, or somebody get smart with me, I'm gonna, lay out my receipt.
So Darius Crooks couldn't let that moment completely slide away because he knows even the hags in the chat in that moment, they're gonna be like, well, Master do it, but he justified when he do it. So he's like, well, see, I see when I do that though, it's because, I don't really go there. I mean, I'll just, I might mention, hey, y'all missing y'all address or something. But again, he's putting the blame on them. What about the Dining with Darius Crooks people who never got the address? What about the many people who never got their order and the address was correct? What about the Carolina Pound Cake Company orders? Those people who ordered in the last month or two didn't get nothing because you claimed y'all were backed up and you were catching up with orders, and then you shut down the website, but you kept all those people money, hundreds of people. What about them? What about the people who got those stale, moldy, crusty cakes? Damaged cakes? You got people did videos on them. What about them? Lying ass.
Understand? But I try my best, not to do all that. That's funny.
Hold on.
Mixers from him, because then if you complain or if something's wrong, he gonna pitch a bitch fit and
you don't feel comfortable.
No.
You don't feel comfortable.
No.
Right. The most I'm gonna do is, why y'all didn't do y'all address, or somebody get smart with me, I'm gonna, lay out my receipt. You know what I'm saying? But I try my best, not to do all that funny acting stuff when it comes to orders and things like that. I may have, crossed the line or two back in my day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But now that we
crossed a line or two back in his day, or became notoriously known to the point that your followers are, even to this day, they still afraid. They still afraid. And they feel like, I had somebody comment under one of my older Crooks videos, one of our lives or something. They like, do he ever come after you for this? I don't get no fucks. What? Y'all scared of him. I'm not scared of this sassy queen. This girl scared of flies. Y'all the one, because she pull her Donald Trump tactics and make fun of you. Girl, that ain't hurting me, because she gonna make fun of me. Make fun of her too. and come with the receipts of how she's legitimately a scammer and a sociopath. The hell I'm scared of her. Do he come after you? I was like, these people. She's tried and she's failed, and it ain't gonna ever shut me up. Vanessa is saying Jeremy posted that he had considered Darius a friend, so he is not going back and forth. Then he deleted the post. Right, because he realized Darius Crooks was never a friend. But my point is, and that's fine. Thank y'all for that update. I saw somebody else said it too. Thank y'all for that. Because again, I don't follow. However, he's not dragging Crooks, is what I'm saying. He's not, he's responding in that, but he's not the one creating the drama. He's tried to keep the peace, like, hey, we fell out, it didn't work out, whatever, we didn't have a meetings of the mind. You go your way, I go mine. He has not been bringing up Darius Crooks like, oh, that fake millionaire, oh, that scammer, oh, he running a Bali, escaping, oh, the FBI gonna be after him any minute, oh, he tried to flip the script on me, but he was scamming all the time. He ain't been doing none of that. He's just been going about his business. Darius Crooks keeps poking the bear. And even with that, for whatever reason, because we do know that Jeremy has a history. We even watched it during the Three Queens tour. We watched Jeremy have a history of being sassy and flip mouth and all of that. They're good at doing that stuff. Bullies always have the thinnest skin. And Jeremy is a bully too. But Jeremy bullies people who he feels, well, all bullies do. Jeremy bullies people who he feels are weaker than him, who he can have the upper hand on. So that's why he bullies his audience through the chat and all the other stuff I've heard, the chaos I've heard about all of that behavior and the shenanigans. Same as Darius Crooks. You see Darius Crooks bully his audience, bully his flying monkeys. You'll see him from time to time bully another influencer. But when somebody is at his level or higher and can go toe-to-toe with him, he backs off. K. Michelle, he backed off. Geisha 305, he backed off. E-Class, E-Class, he backed off. I mean, there's a list that goes on and on and on. Right. Don Smart says, bullies are basically scared and insecure cowards. Exactly. But my whole point again with Jeremy is that he has not been drumming up or initiating drama. And honestly, it keeps coming to his doorstep directly from Darius Crooks, and he's still taking the high road. He's doing the Michelle Obama. Darius Crooks keeps going low to the gutter because she's a gutter snipe, and Jeremy keeps going high. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but that's just been the circle of life with this situation. Okay, let's get done because I'm over her in a minute. We getting out here in 2 hours no matter what's going on.
Exactly, but it's anything though. You can't say anything to him. Like, I don't know if you saw the comments, but like people were saying, "Oh, well, he blocked me for this," or "He blocked me." Right, it's his platform.
Even on my Facebook page, I saw they were like, "Oh no, he blocked me," and I never said nothing or whatever.
I literally, at one point, I was collecting them, and then I just stopped. But I literally have hundreds. Now, okay, yes, I do have hundreds of comments from people saying, Darius Crooks blocked me. I ain't even do nothing. He blocked me. I liked somebody else's post. He blocked me. All of that. In addition, I have receipts of posts from Darius Crooks saying, today I just blocked 2,000 people. This was during the time when he wasn't getting orders out. Girl, you got time to block 2,000 people, but not respond to these 20 emails about people not getting their orders? Huh? Craziness. Where was she? What's her name? Sharifa? Sharifa, girl, where were you when all of this was going down? Are you new? I don't even think you knew. You are choosing ignorance. You are choosing ignorance. Choosing it. Sad.
Anything to him. That's why I went under, like when he said something about there are no emotions in business, I had to press the button because I was watching on replay. Like I had to hit the laugh emoji because he's the most emotional person that, like, you have a cycle. It's like he has a menstrual cycle every day. It's like nothing. It's like
Darius Crooks is such a hot emotional mess that I literally have a file. And y'all, when y'all see these, I've been working on some stuff. I know y'all ain't seen me. I saw somebody in one of the exposed groups be like, well, Vell ain't did nothing, no content on in a while on Darius Crooks, but I know that means he working on something. I was like, oh, they know me. Oh, they know me. I literally have a file dedicated to Darius, well, and I created it recently, dedicated to Darius Crooks rants and meltdowns, because there's a multitude of them. And I was like, I need to just have them in one place to be able to show y'all and create our trailers and everything else. But she's sitting here saying that, yes, Jeremy may be from what I'm hearing, I'm assuming it's true, because I have heard it from even beyond this conversation they're having. Obviously, he has some issues and he's a hot mess on some level. But so is Darius Crooks. He is not one. Get off that pedestal, you stuck queen. Why is he on a pedestal? Why do he keep climbing up on it? Get your ass down from that pedestal. What? I literally am able to create a file folder, digital file folder of your rants and meltdowns, because you are an emotional hot mess, because you are unhealed. And you sitting here talking about this other man who ain't bothering you because he feels like he's weaker than him.
Because it's like a gloomy, so it's kind of like my aunt and my cousin next door. It's like there's always a rain cloud over their house because they're just so ugh. And that's kind of like how I see him. It's always like a cloud over his head. There's no sunshine. There's no, I mean, and that's why I see the depression. Like I see, it's almost like he wants to be somebody he knows that he'll never be. That I do have a,
like Darius Crooks. Darius Crooks wants to be somebody he'll never be. Darius Crooks will never be beloved as a public figure, ever. Darius Crooks will never be able to live in the U.S. of these Americas, USA. He will never be able to live in the United States of these Americas in peace. That is why she's moving literally on the other side of the earth. On the other side of there. That is why she's doing that. So there are things that Darius Crooks will never truly be a happy soul, ever. I know this for a fact. I knew her in real life. She is very unhealed. She has a lot of trauma that she didn't work on early enough, and it's a little too late. Plus, she's created additional trauma. She's come to the place, she's at a place where in order for her, it's like a gremlin or a monster. She has to feed off of other people's happiness by creating evil and sadness in their worlds. And that gives her a bit of fleeting joy, like she is in this moment. Jeremy having whatever his issue is or whatever she considers to be a downfall or whatever, it's a negative situation for Jeremy. However, she's getting joy out of it. It's feeding her. However, here's the problem. Because anytime you serve the devil, Satan, it's fleeting. So it's not enough to keep her going. So she has to keep this up. Y'all notice she's been a little kind of quiet. I mean, she's been doing her slanderous black restaurant reviews here or there. It hasn't been quite as messy. Right. Misery loves company, Renee. It hasn't been quite as messy as it has been in the past. But that's boring to her. She needs something. She got to keep some kind of drama.
Light bit of compassion for him when it comes to that, but then his arrogance supersedes.
Yeah, the compassion that you could possibly have for him because of the way he responds and the way he goes off and things like that.
Like I'm Kake King. I'm like, but you know, I still can't move past the box. Even my ass who can't cook, I can put a box. And then
what do you say? I've been doing this for 16, 17 years. That's the whole thing.
Right, and then it's 1,012 y'all on here. If you bought a box cake from him, you're a groupie because ain't no fucking way. Nobody can ship me a box cake. You ain't shipping me a box cake. I'm sorry. I'm not.
So anybody who purchases a cake from Jeremy is a groupie because he makes mixed it with pre-mixed cake mix. I think he uses a combination of, but I don't know if Shanice is still. I think Shanice was here earlier, but I've heard from other bakers that they will use box cake mix to make their cakes and add it in or whatever. It doesn't mean that they're cheating. It's a part of the process to make these elaborate kind of cakes that they make. The decorative kind of sculpture kind of cakes and stuff. Not my world, but I've heard that that's not unheard of what he does. They, I think, saw him or he talked about making it with box cake mix once, and they have run with it and now have invalidated everything about Jeremy because he's makes his cakes and incorporates box cake mix. Now that means he's not, it don't matter that he's been on the Food Network. It don't matter that he had a successful bakery. It don't matter that he's a successful internet influencer as a baker. None of that matters because he's used the bake cake, so it invalidates him. However, we then come to Darius Crooks, who has a multitude of videos of him using prepackaged everything. His Food Network star audition tape that I filmed when I know nothing about nothing when it comes to that culinary stuff. He was showing them frozen vegetables. He's cooking stuff with he's still to this day, he does that prepackaged stuff. The greens he got, they glory greens. What is she talking about? And then they run and slop it up at those dining with diarrhea events. What are you talking about? He at the Chantel's Justin Till. He bought hard-boiled eggs. He didn't even want to boil the eggs. What are you talking about? Your master, right? Greens in a bag. Thank you, Don Smart. He does greens in a bag and glory. He's mixing a little glory greens too for a little season. What are you talking about? Just because your master then got in your head and flips the script and spins you around 3 times and you so dizzy you ain't realizing just because he go to these restaurants and talk about them having canned string beans and processed mashed potatoes and all of that, she got her own version of stuff she's doing that with. Just because she's calling out somebody else for doing it don't mean that she don't, because she's a walking contradiction. It's ridiculous. Yes, CJ, pre-hard-boiled eggs. He did that and then justified it. Well, what we look like sitting here boiling all these eggs we gonna need for the blah blah blah. That don't even make sense. But it makes sense for all these Black-owned restaurants with 2 employees. You think they got all day to be prepping fruits and veggies and all of that? Making homemade mashed potatoes every time. They doing the same thing you did. You only had a two-day, well, it's supposed to be a 3-day event. You only had a 3-day event scheduled and was too lazy to prep everything. We talking about you critiquing restaurants that's open all year round, 4 years. Established restaurants that's been around for decades. And you critiquing them because they don't want a meal prep every day. You couldn't even do it for a 3-day event. Get the fuck out of here. Get off that pedestal.
No, I can make my own box cake. Woo me with some homemade shit. Woo me with like my mom-in-law who made that applesauce, and I saw the applesauce, apple pie, apple cobbler. You know what I'm saying?
But you start with fresh being made. There is a value to it being fresh made. I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
I will never disregard his decorating abilities.
Oh,
that boy can decorate a cake like nobody's business. But to your point,
but he don't do that anymore. He's too big for that. He's not. Oh yeah, he said that he's not Oh no, he doesn't custom. He's not doing custom cakes right now. He's just doing like the cake jars and
what?
No, you can't like say you wanted to order like a wedding cake.
Yeah.
Oh no. He's just doing a cake. I think the cake jars are like 8-ounce jars. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
So, Jeremy, what I'm gathering from this part of the drag session, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because there's another part I want to get to. I see how much I really missed. But now the problem is that Jeremy is now not doing his decorative cakes. He's switched his business model, and he's doing, I guess, cakes in a jar, whatever, like they do at what they call it, PF Chains. You know, they got the little, well, I don't know if they still do it, but the little desserts in the little small glasses, like shot glasses. He can change his business model. Darius Crooks has changed his business model. He went from the Dining with Darius Crooks event. Well, he went from 3 soul food restaurants that failed miserably to a Dining with Darius Crooks event, making that full time, that failed, which is why he really stopped it, the truth be told, to the Kitchen Comeback, where he would go to individual restaurants that failed. First event, didn't even finish the full 3 days. Also didn't pay the wait staff their tips either. Stole them. About $3,000 he stole from them. Now he's on the run to Bali to open up a restaurant where he's hoping there's no rules and no laws. It's okay to change your business model. Why, if Darius Crooks can do all of that, jumping from job to job, from business to business, why can't Jeremy do something as simple as decide he don't want to make no custom cakes right now? Who knows? Maybe you pay him enough. Darius Crooks claim if you pay him, what is it? What do you say, $20,000 or $40,000? Oh, no, it's $20,000 if you want Darius Crooks to be your personal chef. Guess what? He ain't never been nobody's personal chef because everybody gonna pay that. So if Jeremy wants to not make cakes for a while or make a different kind of cake, what's the problem with that? What are we judging? Now you're just picking ish off the sky just to have something negative to say about the man. Darius Crooks can fail, have business failure after business failure, and keep changing his grifts. And that ain't bothering her. But Jeremy no longer making custom cakes, and now he making them in a jar. That's a problem. Oh, it was 25K St. Center. Right. Darius Crooks talking about something. When people were saying, when he was talking about stopping the Dining with Darius Crooks, they was like, well, would I be able to hire you for like a party, for like a private dinner? Yeah, for $25,000. I also remember when he was trying to be a food photographer after he fell out with Madeline, his supposed food photographer who he's so great at keeping relationships. She was with him for 5 years, and then now they don't talk at all. Let's not talk about we're gonna probably do this on Patreon. That boy, the guy he dated, he had that extravagant Vegas date with. Why they both blocking each other now? All they did was a weekend getaway. You know Darius Crooks was a horrible person. Who has to block each other? When you done went on a date with somebody and afterwards y'all gotta block each other, that means some issue went down. Darius Crooks lost over that part, but I told y'all from day one. I think I said it publicly over here as well on the public side. I think I know what I said, but I think I said it over here too. It wasn't gonna last. I knew the guy wasn't his type instantly. As soon as I saw the pictures floating around, I said, "Oh, that ain't his type. He ain't gonna date that guy. This is all for clicks and views. This is for engagement." What did he do? That whole weekend, that them going to Vegas, he basically vlogged it. He went live 3-4 times a day. I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be on a date. He run into the hotel room to lay in the hotel bed and be on there with the De-hives. I said, he not into that guy. If Darius Crooks was into him, Darius Crooks wouldn't have left that man's side. I know how he operates. I remember that 65-year-old man you met on the cruise. And then you wouldn't even come to the we was roommates. We was roommates in the cabin. Darius Crooks fell in love with some old man. Because you know he like him older. Why am I on this? But it's funny. Because the man was old and hideous. He looked like somebody's you know that creepy uncle y'all got, that we all got. He looked like him. Just a creepy, like sweaty palms. I don't know if the man has sweaty palms, but he was just not cute in any kind of way. You know how sometimes you can see an older man and you like, you know, he old, he look like somebody's, you know, perverted uncle, but he probably was cute back in his day. Like you can see some of the features and you're like, he probably was cute. This guy, you looked at him, you was like, oh, he was never cute. Darius Crooks fell in love with the man, laid up on him. Me and the other friends, because it was a bunch of us. Like it was a bunch of us on the cruise. I think it was like 7 or 8 of us went on the cruise. It was a gay cruise with like 100 people total. Over 100 people attended, and it was like 7 or 8 of us who were like friends, and came together. And Darius Crooks and I was sharing. We shared the same cabin. Again, I'm supposed to be some jealous ex, but yet we were friends on a cruise, hanging out with our other group of friends, sharing cabins while he's dating people and I'm trying to date people. Anyway, so next thing I know, Darius Crooks ain't coming back to the room for a couple nights. So one night, me and the friends, we just walking around. You know, if any of y'all been on cruises, sometimes at night, you just walk on the upper decks or whatever, you know, just doing whatever. We walking around, we go through the adult section. Why Darius Crooks big ass? Now, this is when she was big. Then when she about 400 pounds, near it. She was in the 300s. Then when she was huge, and the guy was probably like 6'2", 6'3". Why her big ass laid in between this man? You remember that, Crooks? Oh, me and the friends, we couldn't stop laughing. We laughed the whole vacation over that. He was laid there like a little baby, like a toddler. So the man, you remember that, Crooks? Oh, you so sad. That's why you're not happy today. He got them daddy issues. He was dating this old, perverted looking, grandpa looking guy who lived in New York. And then he was in love too, the whole trip. But we already knew how Darius Crooks is. He also falls in and out of love real quick. That's that sociopathic mindset that he got. So, now what I was mad about was Darius Crooks. He hadn't came back to the room like to spend the night at least for like 3 nights or so. So I got comfortable, like, oh, I got this room to myself. Basically, he don't be coming here at night. Then I started talking to a guy. Man, this guy was fine. Guy in Detroit. We're not on Patreon. Forget it. I'll talk about it on Patreon. Never mind. Join Patreon. $5 tier and higher. You get these sort of insight. I forgot. It's late and stuff. I forgot where I was. Anyway, Darius Crooks and his daddy issues caused him to date this guy. And within 2 weeks, the guy moved. The guy lived in New York. Darius Crooks did go to see him once, and then it was over. Remind me, Patreon crew, to tell y'all the story. Let's finish with this.
I think they're like 8-ounce jars for maybe like $10 or $12, something like that. But he's doing cake jars, and then he's selling his mix. I watch him here and there because I can't move past him. Seeing him in person and seeing how that shit didn't add up.
So he's not baking cakes anymore.
He's not doing the custom cakes, no. He's doing cake jars.
You want to give me something?
He does. He does. And I wonder if Ty sees it. Like, because like you can see the switch up, or you can see when somebody is not their normal self. I'm like, when he's online, he tries so hard to have your charisma and to try to make it flow, and it just doesn't flow. It be so choppy and so like last night. I'm talking night for last. I was in the shower when you was mixing, and when Big came on, I was like it was almost, you know, and he could never do that shit, and he owes that, and that's what hurts him. Like that's what.
So she's saying Jeremy is unhappy, or I'm sorry, jealous, or not fulfilled, or won't ever be successful because unlike Darius Crooks, he can't play music online to his audience and get them jumping from it. Jeremy don't have the ability to play Biggie. You see how low vibrational they are? I mean, I can literally right now just start playing I had my music on before I went live. I can sit here and play my music. The problem is YouTube would shut us off. But we can go to Instagram and I can sit here and play. Patreon already know, our Patreon executive people. There's times I play music. They know I have amazing musical taste. That ain't enough to make you or break. Like, that's not unique. That Darius Crooks knows music that she like. But you see how low vibrational that is. I was in the shower and you played Biggie, and I was like, see, he can't do this. Jeremy could never do this. What? Lord. Oh my God. Oh, to be such a simpleton.
That's his struggle. He struggles.
And why do they think that Darius Crooks is some benchmark for people? Like that Darius Crooks is even on people's radar as like people think of success, and then they put Darius Crooks there in the list of what success looks like. I don't know nobody who does that. I mean, I know they do it as cult members because they've been programmed and indoctrinated and love bombed to think in that way. I get it for them. But for the rest of us, nobody looks at him and says, this is success. I want to be like him. None of us. We see hurt, pain, disappointment, toxicity, sociopathic behavior, what misery looks like, what low self-esteem looks like, what bullying looks like, what a hurt man-child looks like. That's what we see. What a pathological liar looks like. That's what we see. What a cult leader looks like. That's what we see. What a 300-pound boy sitting in a lap of a 60-some-year-old old perverted-looking uncle man looks like. That's what we see.
And he doesn't know.
Okay, enough of her. I was trying to get to the part. This is why I wanted to edit this.
Okay.
Could be. Because some people say they was falling apart. Some people say they were falling apart.
He shook the shit. If you would never know.
She is obsessed with those candles. She probably want a candle. Jeremy, can you send her a candle? Send her a candle, Jeremy, because she's obsessed with your defunct candles, and she feels like that they're not defective. So just send her a candle or two.
And she couldn't go because I think it was out of the country. I think Tay was going to Canada, and she couldn't go.
Now they on Carmen and Tay. We had to get to that one day. I'm trying to get to maybe that's it. I'm trying to get to the part where he is so busy love bombing and so inaccurate. And I played this on Patreon last night, and I was like, this is just ridiculous how he spouts off anything and they just blindly believe and go with it. Let me see. I think this is it. Then we're getting off of here. What we got?
Okay. Well, that was a lot. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Jesus Christ. All right. If you're here for the mess, we chilling out with the mess, so you can leave now. It was good. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Have a good night. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay. Thank you very much. Back to our regularly scheduled program. The mess is over with. All right. You can stop screen recording now if you want back. Wow, though. This is very, very interesting. All of this is like so interesting to me. I figured, what's up?
Oh, I skipped over it, but I am editing this to like the main points. So I'm gonna put it in a pre-recorded video. But she also mentioned at a part that her husband, I think, and her therapist both have a problem with her following Darius Crooks, like her obsession with him. I was like, she just admitted that on here. Like, but what she didn't go into, and I got to rewatch it, but I got to pull it. But I was like, what? She's saying her husband and her therapist both are kind of like, this is an issue, how obsessed she is with Darius Crooks. I'm telling y'all, there's this psychological template that goes along with all of these diehard followers. Now, again, I call the hags, the flying monkeys, the hivers, the hivers, and all of that. And then there are the casual viewers. So I'm not saying that everyone who watches Darius Crooks is mentally unstable. However, I am saying that those diehard ones are. Those core people, those diehard ones, absolutely. Y'all insane. Y'all got mental issues for sure. That I am saying. There's some casual viewers. Y'all got some issues too. The casual viewers who do know the truth and acknowledge the truth, but still choose to enable the truth by supporting it by watching it. Y'all got issues too. Because y'all the kind of people that as long as it ain't been done to me, it's okay. That's a problem for me. I'm looking at you as a human being that's got some issues. God is not pleased with that sort of behavior. That's all I'm saying. Especially when you're over here laughing at other people's misery. Because I see a lot of laughing emojis over here in this De-hive chat.
Going on because y'all were inboxing me. I've never seen this many. I have like 15 messages all about Jeremy. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what is happening here? What's going on here? What's up, KK? What's up, sis? She white, y'all. She follow me. She hangs out.
Darius Crooks is very obsessed with white people as well, and white people who follow him. You'll know, and he holds them to a higher esteem. Because remember, do you remember? Do you remember? Is that Earth, Wind, and Fire? Do you remember the first day of spring in September? Back in 2009, whenever that was. Remember that email exchange between Darius Crooks and a black lady when Darius Crooks had the Cupcake Gallery, and Darius Crooks was looking to do some marketing, and Darius Crooks only wanted white women in his advertisements, and black people, you know, his followers were black women even back then. One of them went as far as to reach out to him, and I remember hearing some buzz here or there, but yeah, I ain't follow. Even when I was friends with Darius Crooks, I wasn't in his business like that. But I remember a little buzz. They like, he didn't put out advertisements that he only want white women. What's up with that? So Darius Crooks, this woman approached him. We've done this video before because I know we got so many goddamn receipts out there, but he loves to say, he always talking about he gonna show something and ain't gonna show it. The videos are out there. It's a ton of them. I'm gonna start organizing the playlist a little better where I'm gonna have like Cupcake Gallery playlist, Fresco Gallery playlist, the Diner with Darius Crooks, the doxing, you know, where y'all can easily find this stuff and I can just point you easier. Give me time. But anyway, we did the video. We did it a couple times where I showed y'all his email exchange with the lady, the black woman, who was saying, why are you, when you're following is primarily African-American women, why do you only want white women and not showing the diversity of your actual followers? He tells her, I know what I'm doing, and I only want white women because black women don't buy cupcakes. So what black women do you know with a husband who be at home in the middle of the day, who has a working husband and she's a stay-at-home mom who is at home in the middle of the day, walking the neighborhood with the kids with a $300 stroller, who buys cupcakes? Not one do you know. Darius Crooks did not want black women as his audience. He always wanted the white people because he felt like they would take him to the next level. Meanwhile, the people who he was hating on, the blacks and the black jobs, are the ones that gave him some level of success. But still to this day, he will show you glimpses, as he just did in this moment, that what he really values, he values your money as a black person, but what he really values is the white people. That's why anytime a white person is in his chat or he's in proximity to one, he points it out. And I remember I got one clip where he says, yeah, that's Pauline. She white, so I listen to her. Like, what? He said it out of his own mouth that one of his followers is white. That's why he listened to her. Shameful God.
Is happening here? What's
says, didn't his church? Yes, he built his business primarily on his church members, his Facebook followers, and well, I ain't gonna say his co-workers, but mainly his church and his Facebook followers really is what kind of got the buzz going for him. And they were all black women. And you know, some of their boyfriends and husbands and stuff, but primarily black women. It's always his demographic has always been black women. Y'all made him, and this is how he been treating y'all the whole time.
going on here? What's up, KK? What's up, sis? She white, y'all. She follow me. She hangs out. I knew something was going on. So he cut up like this. Damn, man. Hey, Christy, what's up, CP? Dang. Y'all keep saying that. Y'all keep saying he wants to be like me. Y'all keep saying that he wants to be like me. He wants to be like me.
They so delusional. They all delusional. He want to be like you, master. He want to be like you, master. Because he's selling houseware. What's he selling? A mixer? I don't know if he sells something else. But now Jeremy's selling a mixer. Darius Crooks was not the first influencer to sell cookware or any items. What I remember first is Paula Deen and Rachel Ray. And there's been other. Darius Crooks has followed a business model. Is he probably the first one that they've seen and the first Black man of in the social media space and the culinary space to be able to take it to the level that he did? I'll give him that. I'll give him that in his little relegated cult. I'll give him that. But he didn't even invent the business model. He followed one that existed. And now today, because of the fact that he's more recognizable in that sense with a certain group of people, he likes to act like he did it first, like he created it, to the point that he tries to drag Tabitha, or tried a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna still do that video. Tried to drag Tabitha Brown a few weeks ago when she released her air fryer and whatever else. She got a whole, additional like appliance lines, blenders and stuff like that. Yo ish ain't in Target. And as much as he want to act like, oh, when you have a third party, she ain't making no money, you are laughing the pit of hell. She making more than you. She has a national brand. She is not you. You are not her. But he got jealous of her announcement and was like, yeah, I hear somebody, but who did it first? Now everybody want to blah, blah, blah. Girl, you was a copycat. You just copy from people who are lesser known or in a different demographic. So your blind followers don't know that you actually stole the idea. Get out of here with that. And why hate on, he is still offering Bali 60 code. You said, is he still? I don't know what his code is now, but that's the thing. He has to discount it by more than 50% to get that stuff to move. That's enough. That says enough. Also, your stuff is Alibaba. I could literally sell his everyday, I could sell his whole entire line, cookware line, and put Veil B Reacts on it. It would literally be the same exact products. You can't do that with Tabitha Brown stuff because her stuff has been customized for her brand. His stuff, they're not the same. They are not the same. But he hates on Tabitha because at one point him and Tabitha were cool. Tabitha knew of him, et cetera, et cetera. And when she found out about what he did to Danny Rose and the fallout with him and Kev on stage, she's really close to Kev on stage and Danny Rose. That's what made her finally, she unfollowed him on Instagram. That hurt his feelings. So he lost his friendship with Kev on stage. He also lost his friendship with Tabitha Brown. Danny Rose was gone many years ago. But because of what he did to Danny Rose, it came to haunt him. And that is why. So when you hear him, he's gone from years ago. Because when I came on the scene in 2021 and was learning about this stuff, people were saying he always copying and he be trying to act like Tabitha Brown, but people be calling him out because he be using her, her dialect and all of that stuff. That's because he was a huge fan of Tabitha Brown. But Tabitha Brown hurt his feelings when he was held accountable for what he had done to Danny Rose, as far as stealing her business. For those of you who don't know, he stole her business, trademarked it from up under her, all while she was dealing with her ailing father in a different state, a whole thing. Single mom, took advantage of her, as he has done and continues to do. Like he's trying to do with Tommy. That story ain't yet been fully told either. Right. He's no match for George Foreman. Right. Let's talk about the George Foreman grill. Right. His scratch and dent cell. Oh, the discount code is currently Charles. That's right. I forgot about that. Right. George Foreman acts high credibility. Right. But so when you hear the shadiness come from Darius Crooks towards Tabitha Brown, and you're kind of like, where that's coming from? Because she don't be in these internet streets like that with the drama. That's why. And she's never once said anything about him. She just stopped following him.
But the problem is you got to be able to control your emotions, though. That's all.
You got to be able to control your emotions. I can't wait to clip this with one of his rants. Should I put this with the mop rant? Or the yo daddy can suck my rant? I got that one too. Y'all ain't seen that one yet.
Yeah, like, I just don't think not being able to control your emotions is such an unattractive trait.
It's just funny watching it and listening, like knowing that I got clips to match up with this, to contradict it.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be human. It's okay to have a human moment. Like, that part I understand. And
so, therefore, I'm going to add multiple rants and meltdowns with it. So it can't be like, well, that was only one time. Everybody had a moment. I don't have moments like that. I don't have moments like that. But okay, we go with that. Some people do. Some people who are considered to be normal could have a meltdown here or there. Her, on the other hand, she has them at least a few times a month.
Okay.
She even get on sometimes just stank attitude. She get on live and just be like snippy at them and curt talking to them. And I'm like, why get on live? Y'all don't see me for a while sometimes because I know my attitude might be stank. I might be moody. So I'm not gonna get on here and then be treating y'all half-ass because I'm in a mood, because I'm in a sour mood that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. But that's not how she do it. Why? Because she's a sociopathic narcissist. She still get on and then treat them like garbage, and they supposed to get over it by the next time she get on live. They supposed to ignore it. She'll never apologize. Never.
Play the piano. I know, right? It's okay to have, to be human and have a human moment, but at the good. Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to the last part I want to cover is, so Darius Crooks gets to talking about Jeremy, the flying monkeys, the de-hivers, start talking about Jeremy also has bought some cars and a new house. And he gets to talking about how it's got to be a lie because you can't buy a house the way that Jeremy bought a house. And because of the fact that I have personal experience that contradicts that. And on Patreon last night when we were watching parts of this, other people had experiences as well. And I'm like, why do they let him just say any and everything and not correct him? And some of these people are realtors or, in that business, and they won't correct him. They act like everything he says is true, misleading the ones who are very slow, like the one who just got off.
He gets money. He spends it. Y'all just said that he bought the tie new ring. He upgraded his wedding ring. That's a couple thousand. Y'all said he bought how many cars he bought? How many?
So now he in Jeremy's finances. Again, I'm still trying to figure out what about Jeremy having an issue with customer service of a candle maker. What that's got to do with Darius Crooks needing to drag this man's financial business out there is still beyond me. I still ain't figured it out.
How many cars he done bought the last? You got the 2 legs. You guys only use 1 foot at a time. But you got how many cars? 3 cars he done bought? Y'all said 2 cars, a Porsche or something?
He has a husband. It's Jeremy and his husband. If they have 2 cars or even 3, they still are not in your situation where you got 2 cars and it's only one of you. And your car's in different states. What is he talking about? Why even touch that subject? Because you can't talk about it.
When you start buying all that stuff, it's going to be, and I know he ain't got the credit. I know he ain't got the credit, bro. Please try to give me 50 straight. Okay? So I know he ain't got the credit like that. He got, okay.
You see why he ain't to be trusted, as in Darius Crooks? Why do we need to know that Jeremy may or may not have, because you don't know she lies so much, this is Darius Crooks girl. Allegedly, Jeremy has asked him to fix his credit in the past as well. Why? Tell us that. Why? Or tell them that.
He got 2 new cars. What kind of cars did he get? Oh, then they press down the Louis Vuitton whenever he sells out. What kind of car you bought? Leasing or buying? You know he ain't bought them cars, so you know he got a condo. You know he got a condo. Quit playing with me. What do you a Porsche and what else? Oh, he paid.
Now this, see, when I think about jealousy, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want y'all just to be agreeing with me, just to be agreeing with me. So I'm trying to understand. When we talk about jealousy and the actions of a jealous person, wouldn't the jealous person be the person who gets online and publicly discusses someone's possessions and judges them? Or the person who's quiet about, and let me keep you straight, some of y'all is getting late. Y'all might get lost. What you talking about, Vel? Huh? What? Jeremy does not get on and has not gotten online and discussed Darius Crooks' house in Houston, his Range Rover that he leaves in Atlanta that needs repair work. I know because we heard it when I went to the trial last year. It was making all kind of knocking noise. Girl, did you get that fixed yet? And his Cadillac SUV in Houston, and his gym shoe collection or whatever. Is Jeremy on his platform talking about that stuff? Because I've never seen Jeremy talking about what Darius Crooks have, or him traveling and building a what's soon to be defunct restaurant in Bali. We don't hear these things. But yet you got Darius Crooks, who is supposed to be the one who is not jealous, but he's the one talking about the other man's possessions, his cars, how he's spending his money, what he's spending his money on, how him and his husband living. That sounds like the jealous person to me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that sounds like jealousy to me.
That's for the Porsche. Oh, nice. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Lovely. He should. He should. He was in the credit group a while back. Bro, this is a couple months ago. Okay. A Porsche and a pickup truck. Oh, nice. Well, look at God. Well, isn't God all right? Well, isn't God all right? I hope he feels good when he gets in. Oh, he ain't no way I'm going to go buy a new car. You go forget it. Girl, that SRX in that garage got 10,300 miles on it. I will push you till the wheels fall off. And that Range Rover sitting in Georgia is 46,000 miles. I will push you till the wheel fall off. You must got your mind. Oh, no, I'm buying nothing. Mm-mm.
Sound like a broke man to me. This is supposed to be a multimillionaire, y'all. Last year, Darius Crooks was talking about, he was shopping for cars. So much so that he was bragging to Eugene, the videographer, and asking him if he wanted to see the cars that he was looking at. I know he talked about the Escalade. He and before that, he was talking about the, I don't know why this car is the Karma, not Karma. That's not a Karma. The Lucid Air. Darius Crooks was shopping. He was bragging to the hags about it and everything. This was just last year. This was before Bali came up. This was before he was getting raked over the, I'm sorry, forgot I'm on YouTube. Raked over the coals with the whole Bali restaurant. The one he thought was going to cost $100,000 for both a house and a restaurant. And he's now at $315,000 for the restaurant alone. And they were trying to get him up to $400,000. They still going to get him. We'll talk about that. We do got to revisit that, the updates, because I ain't gave y'all no updates. But he's a liar and a cheater, backstabber. Now he acting like he ain't never had a care or concern about getting a car. No, you're moving to Bali or escaping to Bali, and probably can't even afford a car if you wanted to. You're stretched too thin. That's why you got to keep running these sales and causing this drama.
I'm not buying a thing. All you got is husband, Alexis. Lord. Lord, not a Lexus. Jesus. He purchased a new house. Nah, right, hold on. Back up. Back the train up 1 second. Please back the train up 1 second. Ain't no way he bought a new house in cash. Matter of fact, now I don't give a shit no more. Couldn't have been. Because the house that he had, the one that we was all at, me and Corey and LaQuincy and all that house we was at, we was over at that house. And he kept saying, somebody's going to buy the house. They're going to buy the house. Somebody look at the house to buy the house. He kept saying that. And in my mind, this is what I'm thinking in my mind. I done bought some houses, right? In my mind, I'm going, how does a person call you to buy your house and you sell your house to a person? That's not how that shit work. Now, if somebody wants the house, that's cool, but you have to put the house on the market, or it must be like some sort of independent little sale situation, but you got to have a real estate agent to do that. So the way he kept saying,
this is where they get in trouble, watching and writing on every word of this sociopathic, narcissistic, know-it-all scammer. That is not true that you have to have, and some of you may know, we got a larger audience than we did on Patreon last night. Some of you may know that when you are buying a house, it could be for sale by owner, or when you're buying directly from the owner, you do not have to have a realtor involved. That is a choice to have a realtor involved. I know this to be factual, not only because I was a licensed realtor, also a licensed real estate appraiser. I got many lives. But also, my first house that I purchased in my early 20s, I purchased from the owner, direct sale, with no realtor involved on either side. All we had was a real estate attorney who I still used for years. It's been a couple of years since I bought a house. Actually, no, I used him. Now that I think about it, a family member had a situation. And tell all the business on the YouTube side, on the public side. But I used them then. You do not have to have a realtor. She's stating that like she is just all knowing. And then they be in this chat like just, that's true. So he lying because you can't buy no house without no realtor.
They're going to buy the house. Somebody look at the house to buy the house. He kept saying that. And in my mind, this is what I'm thinking in my mind. I done bought some houses, right? In my mind, I'm going, how does a person call you to buy?
He's only he's purchased 2 homes, the house in Atlanta, and then now the house in Houston. The house in Atlanta, he also sold. He's purchased 2 houses. He's only sold 1. He does not have that much experience. Some of us have much more experience than that. I ain't telling all my business, but some of us have been through the process a few times on both sides, both purchasing and selling. She don't know what the hell she's talking about. She's basing it on her one-time experience of selling and twice buying, and they were different type of transaction. She got a mortgage on the first house, and the second house she bought in cash because she did the Carolina Pound Cake Company scam. I know it because I literally have the text messages from her telling the realtor, hold up, I'm going to come back once I can get cash with this. I'm finna do something real quick. And it was the Carolina Pound Cake Company scam. She scammed y'all out of them thousands of brick pound cakes, and she bought her Houston house with it.
House, and you sell your house to a person. That's not how that shit works. Now, if somebody wants the house, that's cool, but you have to put the house on the market, or it must be like some sort of independent little sale situation, but you got to have a real estate agent to do that. So the way he kept saying, no, hold on 1 second. Nah, hold on. Oh, so he did, it's the same house. So he didn't move? He said he sold that house and bought the new. No. That is a lie. Hold on 1 second. Back this train up. Back this train up. Y'all going too fast. Slow this shit down. Okay. The house that he did have, the one we was all over, the one that was on the corner.
Again, keep in mind, you see how invested he is with Jeremy's financial situation with his house. So much so he's trying to tear apart. So the chat is telling Darius Crooks, well, Jeremy's doing pretty well. Jeremy just bought his husband and himself a new car. They also have a new house. Now, ain't no telling because people be just saying stuff. It could be miscommunication, all that. But instead of being like, good for him. All right, sounds good. I wish him nothing but the best. We're not cool no more, but more power to him. And moving on. Instead, this crack mouth sitting here trying to debunk. She don't even know. She don't talk to Jeremy. Supposedly, she don't watch Jeremy. Why are you so busy trying to disprove something you don't even know to be factual? He not walking around here with receipts like I do when I talk about her. He just off the top of his head, it can't be true. They can't be doing that well. Ain't no way. Because I know they were struggling before. Ain't no way. No, I can only be successful. I'm the only millionaire. No. And they like, Master, you right. Nobody's successful but you. Anybody else who say they successful lying, but not you, Master. They having a hate orgy over there. It's horrible.
He was decorating every holiday, Labor Day, Memorial Day, their house. He said that this is what he told me. Well, he never said he had a mortgage. He never said that. But he made it seem like he had a mortgage on the house, right? Okay, cool, you got a mortgage on the house. What he said to me was, the time we was all still together, he told me that it was a guy that wanted to buy the house. Because he kept saying, I got to get home because somebody's coming to look at the house, okay? Now, that don't make sense to me. Because if a person wants to look at your house and they want to buy your house, it could be possible that the house on the corner, some millionaire person walked up and said, this is the house I want. Let me find out how much you're going to sell a house to me for. Okay, cool. That could be the case, right? But typically, if you want to sell a house, you get your real estate agent and you put the house on the market and people come back to they come look at the house and then you sell the house that way. But.
So he don't know nothing about FSBO or for sale by owner. Actually, realtors as a part of because I used to be a realtor, part of your marketing campaign and for the ways to get listings, and they teach you this when you're a newbie out there. Part of the strategy is that you actually go around the neighborhoods or look at I don't know, hell, it's back in my day, we used to look through papers and everything, newspapers. But what you do is you would look through newspapers, see that for sale by owners because that's where they were advertised at. Shoot, now I think they can do it on some of these websites. I know they could. But anyway, we didn't have websites. Wasn't no Redfin and all this other stuff out there back then. But we would you could do that and you would canvass neighborhoods. And if you see a for sale by owner sign in the yard, you would then try to solicit them to give you the listing instead by proving to them that you could get them more money and all of that kind of stuff. She don't know nothing about that because realtors are not required for the purchasing and selling of real estate. They are not. They are meant to be a convenience to the process because they're professional. Well, some of them are sloppy and we all didn't have those experiences because I bought with realtors as well. Most of them were friends, to be honest. But anyway, so we know how, that process could be, but they are not required. They are a professional service to ease the process. This girl. That shows she don't listen either because one of her good friends is a broker, real estate broker. She obviously ain't listening to none of her stories.
Watch this for 1 second. Just go with me for 1 second. We were having conversations about him needing to have his credit fixed. The reason we were having the conversations about the credit being fixed is because Corey Brim and I were at the table with him, LaQuinty, and Ty at dinner. Corey and I were having a conversation about Platinum American Express cards, which Corey Brim has several of, right? We were having the conversation, and then we were also having a conversation about the spending limit, because there's no limit on your card. You can just, on American Express, you type in how much you want to spend, and you can check your spending power. And both of us put in $100,000, and we both were able to charge $100,000 if we wanted to on the cards. That was our side conversation. He jumped into the conversation and saying one day he'll be there, but he's got some stuff on his credit he needs to work out. That's what he told me, right? Okay. If you don't have a 9-to-5 job, you don't have a W-2, you're not paying yourself through your company, and you're not doubling down on your taxes to get a W-2 to show the income, how are you getting a mortgage?
Now, this fool's so brilliant. He literally, but see how he sets this up. Because again, I'm going to let this go after this because it's just ridiculous. I just want to point out the ridiculousness and the audacity that he has. But he's sitting there talking about the finances of a person he don't even talk to no more, nor was he supposedly ever close enough to. He's talking about this man and his husband allegedly buying a home. Who knows? Because some saying he did, some saying he in the same house, whatever. The point is, how Darius Crooks, there are ways for them to buy a house. They are a couple. How does he know that the house they didn't qualify for the house based on the husband's information? As long as really the husband could just buy the house outright and then add Jeremy to the deed. He don't know how they worked out their financial situation. So just because he's not in on it, don't mean that Jeremy's lying about his housing situation. But she wants it not to be true. It can't be. No, it can't be. Oh, Lord, since he left me with the 3 Queens tour, he left and now he got to fail. He was already having a fit because Jeremy put out those mixers and supposedly made like $100K in 7 days or something he was saying. So now Jeremy, on top of that, is buying cars and houses all within a few months after abandoning Darius Crooks. You know he got issues with abandonment. I keep telling y'all that. So it's killing him. The idea that Jeremy could legitimately be successful after abandoning Darius Crooks is sad. This is how this man lives, a girl. Look at him. Like a little kid throwing a tantrum. No, he can't have no more toys. I want all the toys. Here's my toy box. No. It's horrible. Why is she so hurt by this man's success? On whatever level it is. Why? Wow. Right. Maddie's mama, wait a second. I think he thinks he's brilliant. Right. All the while he is completely negated, and he ain't never been in a real relationship, and a successful one at that. So what he doesn't understand is how when you're a couple and in a partnership, y'all can lean on each other to make things happen. So somebody might not have great credit and the other one got great credit. The person with great credit may not have the most money, but the person with the most money applies that money to the person with the great credit, and that's how they get the stuff they want. Many of y'all in that situation right now. That's how I know. Well, on top of that, I've lived a life. I've been in relationships. I've had real partnerships and relationships. This girl has never had that in her life. She don't know the difference.
You just admitted to me that you have things on your credit you have to clean up. You don't have a W-2. How are you getting a mortgage? You certainly do not have $500,000 in disposable income. Right. Ty has the 9 to 5. I'm gonna tell you what he told me. Ty don't pay no bills. He told me Ty don't pay no bills. And I'm gonna quote him. Ty is a kept man. I pay all the bills. Ty keeps his money. And if I can be honest with you, Ty works as a medical billing whatever. That's the last thing I heard. You know, listen, I don't care. I'll tell you one thing I know now. I don't give a shit.
So he always act like, I tell you everything I know now because I don't care now. No, girl, you never cared. She's the kind of hateful person. These are the kind of people y'all got to be careful with. When some of y'all be letting too many people in y'all lives. That's a whole nother conversation. This is why you got to be guarded. You got to keep your circle tight and small. Because some people are like sassy crooks here. And what they do is they come in your life and they pretend to be your friend. They get your information. All the while they're collecting this data to later use against you. These are innocent conversations these people are having with him about their financial situation, his credit, where his husband worked. And now he takes all of this and then uses it as ammunition to try to tear them down later. Craziness. But what he's not considering is, even if Jeremy's husband is a kept man, which he probably said that, Jeremy, that doesn't mean the guy don't have credit. Jeremy may be paying the bills that are in his husband's name, therefore helping boost the husband's credit because he knows he still needs to work on his own credit. So when they trying to buy stuff, they use the purchasing power of his husband. This girl don't understand life, y'all. Y'all see how dead inside she is. She ain't really had nobody. She don't understand connection and partnership. Some of y'all already know all this that I'm telling y'all. That's what a partnership is. That's what people do. So just even if Jeremy got some credit issues he still got to work on, he got a husband. I actually have friends that have situations similar with the man. Well, both of them men. when one of them made more money and the other one was kind of kept and had smaller, lower end jobs or whatever, and the other one was a millionaire, but the credit wasn't great and it had some other stuff. They use their cash with their partner's credit and their other, their background and all of that stuff to make things happen with businesses and all of that kind of stuff. This girl don't understand life. All she understands is scamming. I think that's all I got. The rest of it is a bunch of more hating. We're done. I'm 37 minutes over. I appreciate all of you. I think I've done enough reading and all of that. Y'all did make some great comments. I think there was one that I wanted to definitely touch on. Where's Lord Jesus? Where is it? Are they at the top of the bottom? Oh, here we go. Jane Doe is saying, so the restaurant house isn't done being built yet? No. So in Bali, where Darius Crooks is allegedly building his restaurant or whatever, it is he keeps changing it back and forth between the restaurant and the house. And if they're both going to be there, I don't know, y'all. I got confused. So I don't know. And I haven't been paying attention. That's the real truth. But anyway, yes, it's under construction. What's his name? Tommy has been sending like updates. So there are videos out there showing some of the progress that Darius Crooks has showed on his lives and stuff. I do have some of that footage. So we'll do that the next time. I was really trying not to get back into doing Darius Crooks lives, but I think y'all enjoy them too. Do y'all want me to do the Darius Crooks live? Not these won't be, we ain't doing them every day or nothing, but just maybe I'll go back to weekly. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I'll give an update on that, and then I'll have some pre-recorded stuff coming out because there's some other stuff I want to cover related to that and other stuff. And then tomorrow, just so you know, I will be, I'm going to actually schedule it. The video that I was going to put out today, that we were going to watch live today, I'm going to go ahead and do a poll because I see a couple of y'all commenting. Do you want me to continue to have the Crooks lives. Basically, the poll question is saying, do you want me to continue to do these Crook live updates, periodically, once a week, once every other week or something, where I just kind of keep y'all in the know with stuff like this. And then I'll still have those pre-recorded ones because there's a whole strategy I got going on behind that. But yeah, just so you know, tomorrow I will have the premiere of the video I was going to just do today, and I was going to intro it and all of that. That'll come out. That'll come out tomorrow. So we do have new content coming out tomorrow. And then I got some other stuff we're working on as well. And then it's story time. Tomorrow's is a preview of a sneak peek of what we basically do on Patreon. And I'll have a few of those sneak peeks coming out here and there. So some of you will know or get to see, because I know it's hard to just understand that what I do on Patreon or how we hang out on Patreon is this on steroids. This on story, and it ain't even related to Darius Crooks. Every once in a while we'll talk about Crooks, but most of the time is, I say 90% of the time it has nothing to do with Crooks. But we be having a blast over there. So, and it's me being way more open, transparent. I also do my personal vlogs over there as well, ride-alongs, all kind of stuff. So, but with that, I thank all of you for joining. Please hit that like button if you have not as of yet, and just thank y'all for coming back. Like, I really expected the viewership to be really low because I've been gone for about a month, I think, or more. But this lets me know that y'all miss me like I missed y'all. And so I appreciate it. But also, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, to really show me that you want me to continue to come back live and not be missing in action so much. 97% of y'all are saying, yes, y'all want me to continue with the Darius Crooks live coverage. So guess what's going to happen? We're going to continue with it. All right, y'all. With that, y'all have a great night. Take care. And until next time, be blessed. Peace.